right, let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safeway Liquid Beer Release podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
It's not static, AM radio.
It's the Cool Bed Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromella intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack at 6 o'clock and log you with some sirloin bites.
What you did. It was a big blockbuster made cause Ebbs was lackluster, so in the end he just had to go. Yeah, that sounds about right. They sent him to New York and they landed Ryan Strome. Now he's got a song on the show. Right. He does all kinds of drills that give you all kinds of thrills, but the thrill he's never known is a thrill like he's dreaming. All the fans are screaming, it's another goal for Ryan Strome. Ryan Strome. Wanna see him dangle Ryan Suter. Strome. Wanna see him be 97 shooter. Yeah. Strome. Wanna see that smiling face. It's another goal for Ryan Strome. That's a very, very good thing.
We know this sexy old lady named Renee, baby, who likes to wear men's jeans. She's got a Ryan Strome road jersey, and it's bursting right at the seams.
Now this song's designed to blow your mind, but your minds won't really be blown like the blow you'll be feeling at Rogers Place, screaming, it's another goal for Ryan Strome. Ryan Strome. Wanna see him dangle Ryan Suter. Strome. Wanna see him be 97 shooter. Strome. Wanna see that smiling face. It's another goal for Ryan Strome. Oh, baby. Yeah.
Oh, listen to this. 18,000 watching every night. No more staph infection, so you can take flight. It's okay that you don't shoot right. Your future's still very bright.
Your future's very bright.
A 7-year deal is what you signed, well, with an AAV that we don't mind. So now it's Lawson by your side. Yeah, we know you're gonna be just fine.
You know who you are,
Clefbaum, yeah. Oscar Clefbaum. Every time you score a goal, we're gonna play the song. Clefbaum, Oscar Clefbaum. And Oscar, you can do no wrong.
Oscar, you can do no wrong.
Clefbaum, Oscar Clefbaum. Every time you score a goal, we're gonna play the song. Clefbaum, on. Oscar Claiborne. In Oscar, you can do no wrong. You can do no wrong. In Oscar, you can do no wrong.
.607. Good morning, everyone. What's happening? Dusty and Lieutenant Eric with you. We'll try to get you through this.
Yeah.
We'll try to get you through this.
It's been worse.
Ah, man. You know, here's the thing. What a game last night. I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like that. LeBron James hits 50,000 points. Only player in the history of the league to do it. Might be the only player in the history of the league to ever do it. Lakers are a juggernaut, 17-3 in their last 20. They will not be stopped.
7 straight.
Luka joins the very exclusive 30-point, 15-assist club with the Lakers, which includes Jerry West, Magic Johnson, LeBron James, and Luka. Kobe never made that list because he was a ball hog. But Luka, in 9 games, has already done it.
He's
Pretty
fitting
impressive.
in, Yeah, 64 points, Doncic and James last night.
I'm sure many of you today would just prefer I talk Lakers for 3 hours.
We had a trade yesterday. We got a breakdown. We didn't get a
with
chance
the
to do
Lakers?
that.
Now we'll get to it. Trent Frederic, the savior. You know what? Cannot be worse in any way than anybody in the bottom 6. I mean, it's wild right now how ineffective this entire team is. And as their coach, Chris Knobloch, said again last night, a fragile group.
Yeah, he did it again.
This guy just keeps dropping F-bombs every single post game. Can't find a solution. And they started well last night. They should have been up like 2 or 3-0. They started well, but couldn't. They got the 1 on the power play. And then as soon as they give up the second goal, which Pickard has to stop, but he didn't. It was a weak goal. As soon as he gives up that goal, full-blown meltdown. Full-blown meltdown from everybody. Like, tell me something good about that game last night. O'Connor was buzzing. He finished -2 as well. Like, there was nothing good from that hockey game last night.
Power play is red hot.
Now, power play's hot. There you go. Imagine giving up 6 even-strength goals to the Ducks and not scoring any yourselves. Like, just absolutely awful. Awful stuff last night. The post-game show was straight fire. I didn't know if Hernan was going to cry or what do they call it when they blow up from inside instantly?
He's a broken man.
Hernan he's not taking it well. And Tommy was a spicy boy last night. Like, Tommy was angry last night. Now, they weren't at Stoff's level. Somebody should probably do a wellness check on Stoff this morning.
Gage has got a lot
He looked like he was going to cry in the first intermission. Gager will have some stories, I'm sure, today when he comes back in. But 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999 is where you can get in this morning. I think I saw Barry the Cheater being like, basically like, stop me from panicking. I'm not sure you should. I'm not sure it's not time to panic a little bit with this team. Like, even on the road trip, I was like, the road trip, they've lost their way. They'll get it back. They were okay against Florida. They were good against Carolina, but this is unacceptable.
They fell back in the hole. Yeah,
man, that was an awful game from everybody. And now I know many of you just want to sit here and watch us blame the goaltending for everything last night. And the goaltending needs to be better. If they can address it, they should probably address it. But if you just bitch about goaltending and only goaltending from last night's game, you're giving the rest of the team a free pass, and there's no way the rest of that team deserves a free pass from last night's game. Or like a lot of the struggles recently. Connor Brown has 1 goal in his last 30 games. Matthias Janmark hasn't shot a puck past a goaltender yet this season. I'm not sure what purpose Adam Henrique serves here. Kapanen should probably not even be in the lineup. At least Corey Perry does something when he's out there. Like, there's...
At least Podkolzin is shooting the puck.
Podkolzin has 6 shots since February started. Leon Draisaitl, who I think should probably win the Hart Trophy, depending on how the final 20 games go, but he'd get my vote right now. But that was one of the worst games he's played in a long time. And I know everybody, you would give him a free pass because he's carried this team for a while. Now he's been carrying the team to a bunch of L's because nobody else is helping out. But Draisaitl was god-awful last night. One of the worst back checks I've seen all season. Ryan and
he's probably banged up from hitting his hip on the board
for Strome having a tap in at the top of the crease. And Draisaitl literally didn't lift his skates off the ice from center ice in. Like, Last night's loss was on everybody. They need better goaltending, whether it's from these guys or somebody else. Of course they do. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is last night's game is pinned on everybody. And if you're just trying to single out one thing, you're missing the point of last night's hockey game. Like, that was an atrocious effort, which is why I think you should probably start to be a little bit worried. Trev, you're our in-house fan here. You've got to be worried after watching that game last night, are you not?
I'm a little, you know what? Okay, I'll say this. I'm starting to get a little worried. I'm not going to lie. More so, I think they're going to make the playoffs, but just because of how good they were for that 2-month stretch or whatever it was. And thank God they were able to put that together. But yeah, if they finish the season, I don't know, batting 500, just squeak into the playoffs there. I don't know what their record would be if that was the case. You're gonna get just swept. You're gonna be out. And the issues. I mean, where do you start? You said it perfectly. Yesterday was just a terrible game.
Everybody,
the whole team, and I have yet to see. It just doesn't make sense. The oldest team in the league, just full of vets, just get so down on themselves as soon as they just completely collapse in every facet
possible?
of the game.
Like
every facet. And it's just, it blows my mind. That should not be the case. They were fighting it so hard yesterday. Like, they couldn't make a tape-to-tape pass to save their lives. So they'd have a grade A shot. They'd fan on it. Like,
the first chance they gave up in the game was a breakaway. And Pickard saved it.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's really, really bad. The only thing is that I'm holding on to is sometimes players show up in the playoffs, as we've seen. Last year, Janmark did play his best hockey in the playoffs. So did Connor Brown.
So they're saving
Adam Henrique scored in the first game against the Kings as well. So there is that. That's a positive, I guess you can kind of look at, but that's wishful thinking. You don't know that, right? What I do know is this team is playing atrocious hockey. And I was ticked last night. Like that for the first time all year. Yeah, I know I turned off the TV last week. I did not, but once the game was done, I muted the TV, I looked at the screen and I'm like, I was pissed. Like I'm really ticked off today. I am. The fact that I'm an Oilers fan. I'm happy to say it. I love that the Oilers got McDavid. They got Draisaitl. It's awesome. But the fact that I can confidently say in my whole life, they have been able to put together a smooth, regular season. That's just been all up the whole season. I'm 26. That's never happened.
It's tough to do. It's tough to do for these guys.
The fact you look at who they have. They have the stars. They have everything you need to be a good team. We've seen it. And the fact they I don't know what it is. Is it the noise outside of the locker room? Is it them just, I don't know, we're just waiting to get into the playoffs. I don't know what their mentality is, but it's got to change. And I don't know where that starts. From Knobloch to making a splash at the trade deadline, they tend to do some, they tend to change things, and turn their game around when a change is made. We saw it with Matthias Ekholm. We saw it with Chris Knobloch coming in. Is Trent Frederic going to do that? I don't know, but something needs to change because this is ridiculous. It's so pathetic.
And we're not going to see Frederic for probably 2 to 3 weeks at least.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Cherry on top. Thank you, Dusty.
Sorry, Trev. Poor Trev. It's just, hey, Trev, let it go. Yep, let it go. Just don't watch the team anymore. Yeah. So, Rick, what do you think about it?
I agree with everything the two of you said.
780-218-9999. If you were here with us this morning, hammer the thumbs up for us. We try to bring it every single morning, okay? We'll try to do what we can to get you through this. I will say this, John T. in Victoria has a new banger about Charlie the Chinstrap Penguin. That is here. It's worth the price of admission. Yep. And admission is free. All we ask is that you give us the thumbs up today, or if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, you tell your friends how easy it is to consume our stuff on all of those platforms and apps. Library Pat says, you asked about panic level last week. I think I was at a 2 or 3 after seeing that game and knowing how the rest of the week will develop. I'm trying to not let myself get to a 6. So Library Pat's starting to deal with it. I'm not sure I'm going to comment on games on Twitter anymore either. I mean, if you point out anything, that's wrong with this team, somebody will reply and link it to shitty goaltending, earmuffs. Like, there's just no matter what. I was just like, look at this god-awful backtrack from Draisaitl. People were like, he's a saint. Skinner's got to have it. I mean, it was a tap in front, and Strome was only available. He was only free because if you watch it, they're even at the blue line, and Strome's 5 feet ahead of him, and he's wide open in front. How do you blame him for that one? You know what I mean? Like the breakaway goal, Killorn gets in behind everybody, walks in, like it just. Last night was a team-wide disaster. Nobody gets a pass last night. They lost as a group last night. And the second goal, I'll give it to you. The Pickard goal, the second goal was god-awful goal. Like that has to be stopped. But as a team, how do you let that make you collapse against the Ducks? And I understand the Ducks have been playing better. They're still the Ducks. That's still a young team. You've got you've got the oldest team in the bloody league. One goal that gets by and now it's a 2-1 hockey game and you just fold up your bloody lawn chair and go home. That's unacceptable. Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand where all this fragile garbage is coming from. And to me, a fragile team, it comes down to their core. I mean, McDavid and Draisaitl and Nuge, non-factor all season. Hyman, like these guys have to be the guys who are like, hey guys, let's not be fragile this game. Let's crank it up a notch. That's not happening. It's bizarre to me. Like what has happened to this team? It makes no sense. None at all whatsoever. It's crazy. Easy says, Dusty, no one is saying you're wrong. But at what point do you say the goalie needs to make a save? I said it. I've said it like 5 times already today. Pickard needed to stop the second goal. But that doesn't just give the team a free pass to suck the big one the rest of the night. Like, come on. I'm not apologizing.
Teams sucked before, but they were the suckiest bunch of sucks that ever sucked.
Homer, watch your mouth.
Oh, I gotta go. My damn wiener kids are listening.
Both things can be true. The goaltending needs to be better, but the team in front of the goaltending has sucked since the Four Nations break. It's just the truth. Like, I mean, the one game they won was because of goaltending. Think about that for a second. It's not like the team, like how many shots did Pickard have to face in that game? It's not like the team locked it down
11.
and played well. Come on. 780-218-99. And then the whole, let's switch the goaltender. Throw in Skinner. That'll give the team a burst. That'll give them a bump. They had 3 shots in the first 12 minutes of the second period. Like that didn't work either. So yeah, it's there's major issues with this team. And to be honest with you, it stuns me. It stuns me that they look as bad as they've looked for the last 10 to 12 days. 2 weeks now. You could say going back a month. I'm trying to separate it from the Four Nations, but they did start to fade a bit before that.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Yeah, it's crazy. So what say you? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. KD says shots were 14-10. The score is 4-1. I understand that. The first goal. Now, I did have people hanging the first goal on Pickard last night, if you can believe it. Draisaitl has the puck behind the net, bounces off his stick right to, I'd say, arguably their most talented dude right in front of the net. Right in front. And he goes top corner, like, Pickard's got to have that. Like, you're missing the script here. Second goal was awful. Third goal was a weird bounce, but I do think Pickard's positioning sucked on it. So if you want to hang that one on him, that's fine. The fourth one, 12 seconds off a faceoff, you're allowing somebody to be wide open in front of your own net? Goalie's got to have it. What are we doing here? And then the 2 on Skinner were a breakaway and a tap-in. And you're trying to hang last night on goaltending. Like, I'm sitting here telling you, I agree with you. The goaltending's not good. But the entire team S'd the B last night. That would be S'd the bed last night. It was not good.
That damn Jeff Skinner.
Well, Jeff Skinner watching from above. I mean, I still think they get out of it. And I still think there's a team there that can make a playoff run, but I'm starting to feel like an idiot even thinking that. So we'll see what ends up happening here. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999 is where you can chime in this morning. If you're watching on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up for us. Let's lay out the show for you. It's going to be a fiery one. There's no doubt about it. And to be honest, like, are you panicking now? and they get Montreal on Thursday. More than half the building's going to be Habs fans. And if I was an Oilers fan right now, I'd probably sell my ticket for $1,000 to some crazy Habs fan as well. And you should do it at fansfirst.ca. I mean, so that building's going to be packed of Montreal Canadiens fans. The Habs have won, 5 in a row?
Yeah.
It's not going to be an easy game either. So, morning announcements. We'll dive into that quickly. The morning after show is coming up. The Fan Zone for fansfirst.ca. We'll go there around 6:45 today. Jamie McLennan's going to join us. Would acquiring a goaltender fix what ails this team right now? We'll just straight up ask Noodles. If they were to trade for a goalie, just a different goalie, I don't even know if it's a good goalie. If they were just to trade for a different goalie, from what you've seen from this team for the last 6 games, 10 games, does that solve everything? We'll see what Jamie's answer is to that. We'll get into a cool bet play of the day. By the way, poker tournament Sunday night, 7 o'clock Edmonton time. Put it on your schedule. I think Reed Wilkins might be interested in playing in this one. He was sniffing around it yesterday.
Sniffing around.
Free advice for Damon Bunting. Buying or selling, Bunting's your guy. Trade watch for Nate's construction leadership and supervision program. We'll get to that around 7:30. The Oilers actually making a trade yesterday. We'll dive into that in the morning announcements as well. Kind of easy trivia. 3 questions too many. We need questions for 3 questions too many today. So submit those to 780-218-9999 over the next couple of hours. Sports, non-sports, doesn't matter to us. That's a good for the Italian Center. Greg Wyshynski will be by for ESPN. No Macramala today. He's on vacation. He was working last week. He's on vacation this week.
Aruba.
Save your Macramala intros. Send them to us next week. Opens up text of the day maybe for something else there. Wyshynski will join us just after 8:30. The weekly rankings of power, the Marmot Basin Slow Report, and the wrap for William Huff. Let's get in your morning announcements for 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. This text says, how do you get another goalie? Are you trading Skinner into first? Plus, look, man, that's not my job. If they're going to go out and get a goalie, that's Jeff Jackson and Stan Bowman's job. They're paid millions of dollars to do it. I mean, go find somebody if you want. Hell, I mean, if you think these 2 guys are as bad as some of the numbers say they are, and you think that they're the reason that this team hasn't seen any of their bottom 6 contribute the entire season, then go find a goalie. It's your job. Go get one. NHL action last night. Obviously, all eyes here on the Oilers. Eric will have more in the sports update coming up. The Flames. We hit our lock shop partner parlay last night, which was nice. We had Calgary as an underdog in Philly. They've scored 6. They'd only scored 1 in their previous 3 games. But Huss was adamant that we get the Flames in there, and it hit last night. So hopefully you're riding with us on this. It was Flames, Lightning, Stars last night. The Stars got by. The Devils 4-3. Colorado wins again. They beat Pittsburgh 4-1. Minnesota, a much-needed 4-3 victory over Seattle as well. And Carolina squeaked by Detroit. Detroit really wanted that one. San Jose hung 6 on the Sabres last night, if you can believe that.
And they beat the Leafs the other night, too.
Yeah. San Jose's heating up.
Well, it can happen.
I think they'd lost 10 in a row prior to that. The Oilers did acquire Trent Frederic yesterday. I thought they paid a pretty fair price. LeChance likely wasn't going to sign here, so you move on from him. You give up a second. You give him Max Warner, who I know isn't having a great season this year, but prospect folks seem to like him. You bring in Trent Frederic. He's a UFA at the end of the year. Could be a guy that if you like him, once you finally get to see him here, that he's an affordable bottom 6 guy for you next year. This year hasn't been great. The last couple of years for him, though, I mean, double digits, almost 20 goals. Looks like he can play. I would probably keep him away from the likes of Arvidsson, Janmark, Henrique, and Connor Brown. So I don't know who you play him with.
You can't move him.
Hopefully he can turn things around when he is finally available. Okay, I want to get to this because we're going to get to the morning after show. We're going to get to the fan zone. I did say Jonty and Victoria has an absolute banger he sent in. And Jonty and Victoria turns things around on a dime. If you haven't met this guy just yet, this was Dave the Welder's daughter made this little chin strap penguin for us. And his name is Charlie.
Yeah, say hi to the people this morning, Charlie.
Oh, good morning, everybody. I'm Charlie the chin strap penguin. Penguin. And I'm here to say there's no reason to panic because I'm Charlie the Chinstrap Penguin. And wasting no time, Jonty and Victoria put together the Charlie the Chinstrap Penguin song. Delivered this to me last night. Chinstrap. 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 Awareness month is upon it. Charge. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. I remember my first toy penguin. Hello. Oh, my name is Hello. Oh, my name is Charlie the Chinstrap Penguin. Because I'm a Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie. Chinstrap is an aphrodisiac. The chinstrap is an aphrodisiac. Confirm.
Everything about it is perfect.
There's good chinny and there's bad chinny. Yeah. I'm sure Ryan Rashad probably shaving in the hot tub as we speak. There you go. Beautiful. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. Sketchy animal mascot. Charlie the Chinstrap Penguin. That's a church mascot. I love that penguin. The animal world. Happy church, everyone. Help us end the stigma. Hey now, grow a chinstrap. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. Charge. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin. My God, how about that? I mean, all day around the office, we're going to be Charlie the Penguin, the Chinstrap Penguin. It's catchy. It's a catchy tune, man. That's your sound of the day right there. That is your sound of the day, man. Jonty and Victoria does it again. A banger. I mean, it's starting to heat up. Song of the year at the Estes.
He'll need a wheelbarrow taking out of the Estes home from the...
it's so many of them. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. God, Jonty and Victoria, don't ever stop, man. Keep throwing the bangers out there. Yeah, that's a fun one. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. We're going to dive into the game, unfortunately. We're 9 away from changing 100, so let's smash that. He's got the update coming up. We're going to dive into this game on the way next. What happened? Like, how do you fall apart that poorly? I love their start. They started well and they had a lead. And then, of course, the fan zone for fansfirst.ca. Panic check. Where are you at? We'll get into that coming up as well. But let's get to a sports update right now with Lieutenant Eric and not Charlie the Penguin, the Chinstrap Penguin. Let's get to the update.
Calvin Pickard allowing 4 goals and 11 shots. He'd be relieved by Stu Skinner as the Oilers fall to the Ducks 6-2. Edmonton 3-7 in its last 10 are back in action tomorrow night when they host the Habs. Elsewhere last night, Winnipeg had now dropped 3 in a row. Panic for the Jets as they lose 3-2 to the Islanders. Stars over the Devils 4-3. Thomas Harley scoring with 5 seconds remaining in regulation. Wild would hold off the Kraken 4-3. And the Flames double up the Flyers 6-3. The Flames snapping a 3-game slide. Later tonight, Vegas are at home to Toronto. The Rangers host Washington. Ottawa visit Chicago. The Ducks are in Vancouver. And the Kings at home to the Blues. The Edmonton Oil Kings will begin a 5-game homestand tonight against Brandon. Oil Kings a point back of the Wheat Kings for 5th in the Eastern Conference. In the association, Luka Doncic and LeBron James combined for 64 points as the Lakers smashed the Pelicans 136-115. James becoming the first player in NBA history to score 50,000 combined points in the regular season and postseason. Also, Toronto getting past the Magic 114-113. And the Cavaliers, they've now won 11 straight with a 139-117 victory over the Bulls. 8 games tonight. Cavs look for their 12th in a row versus the Heat, while the West-leading Thunder visit the Grizzlies. And over to the Briar, Kevin Cooey's ranked 2-3. They'll play Brad Gushue this morning in New Brunswick tonight. Brad Jacobs, meanwhile, sitting at 5-0. He'll face Ontario later this afternoon. More on the Oilers' loss to the Ducks coming up next with your morning after show here on The Nielson Show.
Being a fan of the Oilers today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to have your say? It's the morning after show where we will talk about the game and let you know who you should blame. You want a show where you will know if the problems are still the same. You want a show every morning after the game. You want a show so people know if the problems are still the same.
Pinstrap. The weirdest month is upon us. Charge. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. I remember my first toy penguin. Hello. Oh, my name is Hello. Oh, my name is Charlie the Chinstrap Penguin. Because I'm a Chinstrap Penguin. Chinstrap is an aphrodisiac. The chinstrap is
6:32 on the Nielson show. Like, enough of the bad morning after show, right? Charlie's the hero we need. Little Charlie here is the hero we need today to get this city back on track. Remember, this little guy just trying to grind in the big city, right? He'd probably back check. That's a tough look.
He wouldn't sign a no movement clause.
Well, Charlie does. I gave him one yesterday. I said, everybody else gets a no movement clause. Why not you, Charlie? Why not you? All right, it is the morning after show as we dive into the Edmonton Oilers losing to the Ducks. Hey, Connor McDavid did get that 2 points, though. We nailed that.
Yeah.
Nailed the Connor McDavid 2 points. What's up, everybody, on the wide shot if you're watching over on YouTube today?
Keep it.
Eric always wants to do wide. Look, I think there will be a time when our main camera forces us to do wide camera show. Like, it'll just come naturally.
I hope I'm
And
here.
it'll be a pretty glorious day. It'll be a pretty glorious
Probably
day.
a day off.
You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Box Pounders in it says, this is total nonsense, and I love it. Yes. All right. The Nielsen Show is brought to you by Southfort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot at Southfort Chev, and it is March, and that means they're officially in truck month. Truck month. Deeper discounts, lower interest rates on Silverados and heavy duties right now. 0% for up to 72 months on Silverado Customs and Custom Trail Bosses. By the way, Silverado built in Canada. No big deal. Right? If you're into supporting things that are constructed here in our wonderful country, the Silverado is something to think about. They've got 90-day payment deferrals on right now, or $10,000 cash back with the purchase of a new vehicle. And as far as affordability goes, Southfort Chevrolet will have you covered, whether it's interest rates, trade-in values, or getting you into something new and have like a no maintenance approach to it. Like, they'll just take care of you. Drive a little, save a lot at Southfort Chev. I was emailing with Claire over there this morning saying we should get somebody from there in here and we could do blind rankings. And you know what I'd like to rank with somebody from Southfort Chev? Vehicles from movies and TV.
Oh.
So Trev gets 6 or 7 of them. Then we have to blindly rank them. And I think that would be a lot of fun. So we'll see if we can put that segment together. It should be pretty good. You can text us anytime. Paris Jewelers inbox, 22 stores in 4 provinces. West Edmonton Mall, Kingsway, Londonderry, Sherwood Park Mall, and of course, St. Albert Center. One great website as well, parisjewelers.com. One of your text messages will win text of the day today. And we've had, the inbox is, she's a busy place today. There's a lot of text messages that have been rolling in so far this morning. Some of them are better than others. Some of them are just as ridiculous as we usually see. I thought this one kind of right down our alley here. Klingberg, more like this team can't win-berg with him in the lineup.
It does coincide with his arrival.
It's weird.
It doesn't. It's not.
He's got 4 points. He's +3, but the team has kind of fallen apart since Klingberg joined them. I don't know what to make of that. Like, did it throw a riff into their chemistry overall? And while he's been okay-ish, was it not the right time to do that? I don't know, but they've sucked since he started playing. I don't know if it's directly linked. Leon Draisaitl, 45th on the power play. Beautiful play by McDavid. And they go on top at 10:05. Less than 2 minutes later, an unassisted marker by Leo Carlsson. You know how those usually go. The assist, if they could have given one out, would have gone to an Edmonton Oiler on that one.
It was a nice assist.
Carlson gets it, snipes it up top. Yeah, Leon found him wide open. Right in the
you know
slot.
what I mean? If you're wearing the orange.
Mason McTavish would score less than 2 minutes later. That's the one that Pickard should have had. The weird bounce, would have liked to have seen Pickard maybe be a little bit deeper, so that one didn't get by him. They go up 3-1, and then Mason McTavish again. 10 seconds later, I thought it was 12 seconds, but 10 seconds later.
That's my big moment.
Well, spoiler alert. Yeah,
I know we're kind of getting.
Well, I mean, yeah, that was pathetic. And then Strome wide open in front, and Killorn on a breakaway. McDavid would score on the power play a little bit later on.
Didn't celebrate either.
Oh, well,
straight to the
not
bench.
that one.
Straight to the bench.
Not that one. So that's the scoring summary last night. The Oilers outshot the Ducks 34-27, but couldn't do anything with it. Special teams 2 for 2, and the penalty kills 2 for 2. So
it's a 5-on-5.
Who cares if you give up 6 even strength goals if your special teams are good? So there's that. EST, big moment that happened. You already kind of laid it out.
It's that 2, 10-second, 12-second that you had. They'll be fine. This is still a team that can, turn it on or dig in. And when you have 2 of the best players in the world, a 1-goal disadvantage or even a 2-goal. 2 goals is the most dangerous lead in hockey. But McTavish getting it right smack dab after, just out in front, and nobody really knows what's going on, just kind of puts it right up top to end the period like that, and in quite quick succession from that third to the fourth. That's the big moment there. I mean, that was deflating. You head into the break. Everybody doesn't know what to do with themselves. Of course, we all watched the panel and the intermission. So the McTavish fourth is my big moment that happened.
You know what? That should be the big moment that happened. But the big moment that happened because this team, as described by their head coach, again, is so fragile. The big moment that happened to me was the second goal, in which after that, they just sort of completely collapsed. Bad goal, awful goal. Should have never snuck through. I know on the broadcast they're like, through it. That one, he should have had that one. But as a team that was in a Stanley Cup final last year and faced the adversity of being down 3-0 in the Stanley Cup final and having the balls and the push to come back and force a Game 7, how are you fragile after giving up a 2-1 goal against the Ducks in early March? Makes no sense. But I would go with the second goal, the goal that completely broke the team's back 13 minutes into the hockey game. Well, none of that makes sense. That doesn't make sense. All right, super stat of the night. What are you going with, buddy?
+5 for your boy there, Lacombe.
Jackson Lacombe from
and Radko
Team
Gudas.
Nielson in the Wandering Cone Hockey League.
Gudas 5 hits, a crushy one on Hyman. But, yeah, I mean, looking at the pluses, and again, it's the 5-on-5 that killed them. I mean, we can talk about the special teams, but nobody's going to. Yeah, super for the Ducks in the plus-minus department there, and not so super for the Oilers when it comes to, key players. And Draisaitl, a fat -4.
That line was, what was Arvidsson -3, Savoy -4, Draisaitl -4.
Kulak -4. So, and of course, I mean, the goaltending number 636 and 875 in relief for Stuart Skinner. That's just, that goes on a shelf on its own.
Super. No, I guess I'll just go special teams are okay. Power play, 2 for 2. Penalty kill, 2 for 2. I mean, if you're looking for
well, in the dot, they were pretty
side.
good too. 56-43.
3 stars last night. Mason McTavish, Jackson Lacombe, Cutter Gauthier. McTavish 2 goals, Lacombe 3 assists, Gauthier 3 assists. Who's your 4th star of the hockey
I'll
game?
go with Dostal. 941. Oilers outshot the Ducks. Maybe not the quality.
Dostal played well last night.
Yeah. You want the fancies here? High danger chances, 64-35 for the Oilers in percentiles. Expected goals, 2.92 for the Oilers, 1.77 for the Ducks. Scoring chances, 35-21 for the Oilers. Again, the high danger chances in 11-6. So,
we'll get to all of your reaction from this game coming up here.
Trev wants Dostal. Tweeted that out last night.
I saw you tweet that. I mean, Dostal plays well against the Oilers. Would he play that well with the Oilers?
That's
Dun, 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 dun.
the whole Frederic conundrum, too.
If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. That would be terrific. Let's smash through at least 150, if not 200 here before 7 o'clock this morning, and sub to the channel if you haven't already. 38 star of the game last night. I mean, how do you single somebody out here? Like, Nurse has been good this season. Not a good game last night. Calvin Pickard, 636. Probably have to go there. Based on expectations we have on a regular basis, Leon's -4 with a god-awful back check puts him in the conversation for this as well. But in the end, whether I'm not hanging all 4 goals on him, but you allow 4 goals on 11 shots against. And hey, Gager was right. Gager for the last 3 days was like, I would not start Calvin Pickard in this game. And the entire city was like, Gager, you know nothing. And turns out Pickard didn't make it to the second. So pat on the back for Gager, who was the composed one on the panel last night.
Do you toss Pickard back in against Montreal?
Probably not.
Let him
probably not
rectify the situation.
You know what else I got a bit of an issue with? And Reed brought this up. Post-game show last night was sensational, if you haven't checked it out yet. But there was zero passion in this hockey game. None. Until, what was it, like 3.5 minutes left. Matthias Janmark went to the crease and somebody pushed him. Like, there's no passion from this club right now. Like, you're losing to the Ducks 4-1, and you come out and go through the motions in the second period and get 3 shots in the first 12, 13 minutes. Like, they don't even look like they're pissed off, which blows my mind with what's happened here recently. Like, that might be the most concerning thing from last night's game. You're getting spanked at home by the Ducks. Go to the net. Slash somebody. Like, do something. And they didn't even do that last night. Like, go down with a legitimate fight as a group. Like, don't go down the way that you did. Like, come on. Well, I mean, maybe McDavid needs to yell at everybody. Like, I don't know. But last night it looked like they didn't care. Last night was the first time through all of this that I legitimately thought they looked broken. I was like, man, I don't know if you recover. Yeah, and I'm sure we'll be sitting here in 3 weeks and they won 6 of their last 7, and everybody's like, oh, they're finally hitting their stride and it's going to the playoffs. But last night, and I didn't say this after any of those road games, but last night, they just looked like a broken club.
Chris Sadaway, 5:56 this morning. Hasn't texted since. It was a scheduled loss. First game back from a long road trip. Ducks been playing well of late. Next game, guaranteed win. They'll be fine.
Scheduled losses.
They'll be fine.
Come on. Trev, do we have Knobloch? I think the boys had Knobloch. Let's get Knobloch. Let's load up Knobloch. Let's hear what Knobloch had to say again. I would like to say earmuffs for all the children listening, as he does say the word fragile again.
He ain't wrong
about this team. So we'll have to, we'll get to this coming up before we move on to the fan zone. And we're going to get to the fan zone coming up before 7. And then Jamie McLennan just after 7 o'clock today as well. Big Uke over in the Nasty Chat says the entire team rolled over and died. Shaggy in St. Albert says, Dusty, you are delusional. They are broken. This is what I said. I just said they're broken, man. I just said in 3 weeks I could see.
Apologize.
I could see the situation where they start playing better and everybody's like, they're finding their stride. Like I could still see that.
That's what's going to happen.
But last night was the first time I watched them and I was like, man, this almost looks unfixable for
Sucks
some
when
reason.
You're there too. One guy texted in. He's been to 12 games this season. 9 of them have been losses.
Well, you should stop going to games.
I mean, maybe that's him. Maybe he's the sacrificial.
That's a tough look. All right. Here's Knobloch on his fragile group of losers right now. This is unbelievable stuff.
It appeared to be a pretty strong opening 10 minutes, and then it obviously flipped. I mean, what changed so drastically for that 4-goal outburst?
Yeah, I thought our start was outstanding. thought we're skating well, moving the puck, spent a lot of time in the offensive zone. We scored the power play goal. We had a couple good strong shifts after that, and then the goal against a couple guys stopped playing, thought the puck went off over the glass. It didn't, and we got caught goal against, and after that, we're a fragile team, and when things aren't going well, we lose our game. But I thought our start was exactly how we needed to play, and guys were ready, and then a little bit of adversity, and we were a shell of ourselves.
So you've had comeback wins this year, or games you've been down and at least made interesting. Where's that gone? I guess where has that fragility sort of crept in from?
Yeah, this is usually a team that can handle any amount of adversity. They've done it numerous times last year, this year, but right now it's just, it's a tough time in the season. But that's a good question.
Tough night for your goaltenders. You made the change after the first period. Just thoughts on the play from Pickard and Stu tonight?
Yeah, well, that certainly wasn't the performance that Calvin had in Carolina. 4 goals in the first period, and there's some breakaways. There's some opportunities where they're left all alone, like their first goal against. So, like a save or two, but I'd also like us to defend the dangerous areas of the ice a lot better than we did.
-4 for Matt Savoy tonight. It's an ugly number, but he looked pretty comfortable out there. Just thoughts on his overall game on that second line?
Yeah, I thought he did some good things. He was able to get the puck into the dangerous scoring areas, some nice shots. Do I think that he was a -4 tonight and that was his type of game that he gave us? No. Was it perfect? No, but I thought he did do a lot of good things. And just unfortunate that, we played some of our worst games when he's played and no indication on his play. But,
Probably a tough one to answer, but there were times during this season where, like you said, the group just seemed, very resilient and one of the best teams in the league for a stretch there. And then you've got this little stretch here where so much of that confidence has fallen out. How concerning is it that the swings can be as big as they have been with a group that's supposed to be a veteran group and supposed to be more steady?
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do, you look at just being able to handle adversity when things aren't going well, being able to get yourself out of it and score some goals. We're not getting a whole lot of offense unless 97 or 29 are on the ice. And when you're not getting that balanced attack and some more contributions, it makes it tough to come from behind or, win on a regular basis unless, your 2 best players are your best players every single night. And, as good as they are, and they're fantastic, we need some other contributions from other guys stepping up a little more.
That is Chris Knobloch following the loss last night. He did say they're not getting much from anybody else. They really haven't all season. And they're also not getting much 5-on-5 from Connor McDavid for the last 11, 12 games. So, that's why you get into these types of slides. Like Leon Draisaitl has been doing as much as he possibly can. Last night, he basically took a game off, still had a goal and assist, come on the power play. And Knobloch doesn't look like a guy who has a lot of he doesn't sound like a guy who's got a lot of answers for this right now. Like he looks a little shell shocked right now.
He's a little slapped across the face with a wet fish.
We'll see what ends up happening on that front. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999 is where you can get in. You know what? Maybe this. What do you want to say about this team? Oh, they play their best when everybody's doubting them.
Yeah.
Well, hey, this just in. Everybody's doubting you. It's time to start playing your best now, right? Your backs are against the wall. It's time to start doing that thing again that you seem to do when people are doubting you, and then you call people out for doubting you, even though it was valid doubt with the way that they've played lately. Atif texts in today. I don't. The Oilers handling adversity, more like the Oilers flunking university.
Like, it's a clever play off his voice to texts that usually fly in. I don't know if he meant to do that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what he was doing there. Yeah, that's a bit of a tough one. 780-218-9999. All right, let's go from the morning after show into the fan zone here. The fan zone is for fansfirst.ca. If you want to recoup some of the cost of your season tickets, sell them to a Habs fan on Thursday. And you can do that at fansfirst.ca. By fans, for fans, no fees at fansfirst.ca. All right, let's just get to reaction here. There's lots of text messages coming in. I don't need some sort of sexy question today. You're fired up enough after the loss. Charlie the Chinstrap Penguin, earmuffs, buddy, because this could get pretty nasty here with some of the text messages that have been rolling in.
Ryan from SK said he's got the 1,000-mile stare that Woodcroft had.
Oh, no.
In relation to Knobloch in the postgame.
Well, RJ texts in and says, Knobloch too similar to Woodcroft. Seems like this team needs a hard ass behind the bench.
Coffey's got a hard ass.
No, you're not turning this team over to Paul Coffey. Now, if they did some sort of panic, like, we can't handle it, Knobloch, he wasn't ready.
I'm telling you.
If they turn it over to Paul, like, I just, no. No, the scary thing is that might be what they do. Like,
you can see
I think it's a ridiculous conversation to have.
Sure.
This is not me saying they got to change the coach.
No, apologize.
You can't keep giving the core the pass with new coaches. That's not going to happen.
This is the guy.
And you can't fire the coach because the goaltending sucks, which it does right now. I mean, that is how a lot of coaches do get fired, because their goaltenders suck. But still, like, that's not happening with this. The guy, like, come on. What are we doing here? It's not happening. But I understand the Woody comparisons with, like, the stairs right now and, like...
Yeah, the demeanor, yeah.
The real Slim Davey says, maybe the Oilers are just that team that needs to sacrifice a coach every year in order to have success. You know it's getting bad when Knobloch is explaining the Oilers' mental state like the dude explained Smokey to Walter. They're fragile. Very fragile. It's Smokey, man. That's a good Lebowski comparison, Vance Van Vander Van. 780-218-9999. The fan zone is in, and we are rolling along right now. So keep those coming in. No offense, says Knobloch, or no offense. Maybe play one of your best goal scorers in Jeff Skinner. The fan zone. That's in from Red. I don't know if we checked that box yet today. The call for Skinner to be in as well. H.E. Pennypacker's in. I was at the game last night, and the Oilers' defensive coverage was god-awful. Some decisions are ones you shouldn't make in Pee Wee hockey. It's mind-blowing. Hashtag the fan zone. Agreed. Like, the goaltending has not even been close, what's the saying, up to snuff. It's not there. But the reason that they suck so bad right now is because on top of that, the team just, they're out of sorts. They're out of sorts.
And I think, too, last night, combining that with a Ducks team that is young, not short on talent, playing with nothing to lose and everything to gain right now. That's the perfect storm, right?
Well, you got another one coming in Montreal.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I know we talk about this team and stylistically going up against, backs up against the wall or playing well. I know that the record against division leaders this season hasn't been good at all either. But it's just kind of funny with this team gripping sticks and everyone breathing down their necks, and the goaltending performances what they have been, and the defensive performances, and the team attention to team defense, and two players dragging them along and lack of depth scoring. Credit to the Ducks for coming in here and doing what they did last night and getting some good goaltending along the way.
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Can somebody put in a call to Kenny Holland? And maybe he can come back and fix this thing. How crazy is that to say right now?
It's a lifetime quest.
You know what? We need that this morning, don't we? Right? We need, the city needs this. And we're going to give it to you. Hammer the thumbs up on YouTube.
Very impressive. Taking a few years to put all this together. It's not a one-year quest because it's so hard to get your hands on. At this stage of my life, I don't invest in green bananas. It's a lifetime quest. Just not sure if I'm going to be around long enough to see them ripen to be yellow. You can't party enough when you win that thing. It's a party machine. Party machine. That's why it's the Stanley Cup. It's hard. It's hard.
Pin strap. Awareness month is upon us. Charge. Charlie the Penguin. Chin strap penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chin strap penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chin strap penguin. I remember my first toy penguin. Hello. Oh, my name is Hello. Oh, my name is Charlie the Chin strap penguin. Because I'm a chin strap penguin. The chin strap is an aphrodisiac. The chin strap is an aphrodisiac. Confirm.
Everything about it is perfect.
There's good chinny and there's bad chinny. Yeah. I'm sure Ryan Rashad probably shaving in the hot tub as we speak. There you go. Beautiful. Charlie the Penguin. Chin strap penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chin strap penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chin strap penguin. Sketchy animal mascot. Charlie the chin strap penguin. That's Charge mascot. I love that penguin. The animal world. Happy Charge, everyone. Help us end the stigma. Hey now, grow a chin strap. Charlie the Penguin, chin strap penguin. Charlie the Penguin, chin strap penguin. Charlie the Penguin, chin strap penguin. Charge. Look, man, we have to I know it sounds bad to say in this market, but it's just a hockey game, right?
They'll be fine.
We're all healthy. We have jobs. It's okay. It's okay. Now, are we going to still freak out about it? Of course.
That's our job.
But in the end, it's just a sport. Right now, would you prefer them to be 17-3 in their last 20 like LeBron and the Lakers? Yeah. Of course you would. But they're not right now. Chris Sadoway says this song is Jonty's best remix work. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. A conch for Jonty and Victoria. Looking to defend his title at the Estes for Song of the Year. He's got a couple of bangers. He's got a couple of bangers in the mix for sure. Yeah. All right, on the way next, Jamie McLennan. Would trading for a goaltender, which they've said is not going to happen apparently, would trading for a goaltender ail everything would it fix everything? I don't think it would. It could help.
No, Jamie.
But there's more going on.
We know his opinion. He's we'll get into it
with Noodles for Pro-Am Sports. That's coming up just around the corner. We're going to get to a sports update here for Nisku Glass. And, Big Dave from Nisku was in the chat the other day when I was talking about my windshield being frozen.
Yes.
And it was again this morning. Yeah. He says they'll put on like a water repellent layer on your windshield and then it'll never freeze.
I've been telling you about this for the past couple of weeks.
That's
we got to put it on my wife's. Yeah.
That's wizardry, man. Yeah. That is very cool. Nisku Glass.
Window freezer fluid.
Enough, Trev. Look at you with funny jokes today. Trev. What a funny guy. All right, let's get to the sports update for Nisku Glass. Jamie McLennan with all of the answers and all of the solutions for Pro-Am Sports to kick off hour number 2. That is all on the way coming up here just after 7 o'clock. Bones. The best thing about Jonty's song today, a teeth isn't in it. Oh!
Ooh, someone's going to A&W. Oilers spanked on home ice 6-2 by the Ducks. Kelvin Pickard allowing 4 goals on 11 shots during the opening period. He'd be relieved by Stuart Skinner. Draisaitl opened the scoring with his 45th of the season, while Connor McDavid would notch his 23rd of the campaign. Edmonton 3-7 in its last 10. They're back on the ice tomorrow night when they welcome in the Montreal Canadiens. Other action last night saw the Flames snap a 3-game slide with a 6-3 win over the Flyers. Wild would hold off Seattle 4-3. Stars with a goal from Thomas Harley with 5 seconds remaining. They take it over the Devils 4-3, and Winnipeg have now dropped 3 in a row with a 3-2 loss to the Islanders. Games tonight, we'll see the Kings hosting the Blues. Ducks are in Vancouver. Ottawa travel to Chicago. The Rangers are at home to the Capitals, and the Golden Knights host the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Edmonton Oil Kings begin a 5-game homestand tonight when they host Brandon. Oil Kings a point back of the Wheat Kings for 5th in the Eastern Conference. Over to the NBA, where Luka Doncic and LeBron James combined for 64 points. Lakers smashing the Pelicans 136-115. Raptors getting past the Magic 114-113. And the Cavaliers picking up their 11th straight victory, 139-117 over the Bulls. 8 games tonight. Cavs look for their 12th straight when they host the Heat. And the West leading Thunder visit the Memphis Grizzlies. Over to the Briar, Kevin Cooey's 2-3 rink. They'll take on 5-0 Brad Gushu this morning and New Brunswick later tonight. Brad Jacobs, meanwhile, also at 5-0, will face Ontario later this afternoon. Sports Update brought to you by Nisku Glass. We want to thank EST and all the listeners and viewers, and what better way than to give them a deal? Mention Edmonton Sports Talk or present your Nasty Club membership for a 10% discount on windshields, glass, or any of your window and door orders. Call us today to get that ugly broken windshield replaced or to start planning your winter and spring renovation projects now.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in, not tuning in, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Tati and Eric and all at the back end. Like Wyshynski and Noodles, Frederic and Gage. Maybe just bump out a cool band to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday mandate. Shaggy's always on time, Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number 1 in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some hot takes and we wanna hear Renee. Wanna hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away. Beat left the tire fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about Amanda Canes? Macramel, Rapaport, Dragger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All about him game in person, does he go for? What say you? AM Nasty Crew. We got the Nielson show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Oh, there's nothing you can do about anything right now in this city. Hey?
Tab's third ever text into the station says, at least we're not the Dallas Mavericks.
That's a great text.
It's true.
It could be worse.
Big picture. Yeah.
Yeah, if think about this. Oilers fans are frustrated. Lost last night. They've been on a slide. Dallas Mavericks fans right now, the equivalent would be the Oilers have traded McDavid in the last month. Draisaitl is hurt.
Crying.
The other guy, Draisaitl is hurt.
Yeah.
And Matthias Ekholm, it could be a lot worse. Now, with that being said, does it suck right now for Oilers fans? Oh, yeah, it sucks. Yeah. Sucks the big one. That's what it does. So we'll get to that. Nielsen Show, brought to you by South Ford Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. Go see the team out at South Ford Chevrolet. It is truck month. 0% for up to 72 months on Silverado Custom and Custom Trail Boss right now. www.southfordchev.com. And we're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio today. If you've not yet checked out their delicious $4 value menu, you can do it at Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen. Text of the day today. And there's some spicy text today. Text of the day today will win a gift certificate to our great partners over at A&W.
That's a little therapy for today, right? They call it the retail therapy, but just go get yourself a treat at Popeyes. Go to A&W. Yeah. Go just hit it all up and
do it.
This is what the Oilers have done to you, right?
Do it. That's what you want. Pick up, you know what?
You'll feel better.
Pick up a 4-pack of 6 o'clocker lager on special right now at Sobeys and Safeway Liquor for $12.99. And just have a couple of beers after work today.
Pop it in Wayne's, get yourself a blaster box.
Yeah, I'm popping by Wayne's today.
Well, they'll
it's
pick you right up.
It's Upper Deck Series 2 release day. I'm doing a break tonight. Right, that'll get everybody fired up too.
Why are we so?
There's so many good things in life. Right, think about all the good things in life. My son turns 10 years old tomorrow. I raised a child for a decade. You know how cool that is? Who cares if they don't back check? Right? Let's Let's get into it. Jamie McLennan's going to join us. Brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialist. Check out their upcoming private signings with the Nuge and Henrique. Submit your items or select from theirs. Located in Edmonton at the corner of St. Albert Trail, 120th Ave online, or at proamsports.ca.
Somebody wanted to take the angle with Noodles, too, and just ask him his favorite Seinfeld episode.
I mean, there's a lot of great episodes.
Why not? But, you just gauge it, see what...
I think it probably when Jimmy... The Jimmy episode, right? And George wanted to jump. Let's bring in Noodles this morning. Jamie, life is still good, right? Like we're trying to tell people today, it's okay.
It is okay. I mean, the world isn't over. It's early March. They still got to get their head out of their ass if you're the Edmonton Oilers. But I mean, you know what? You guys were talking about Popeye's chicken. You're talking about A&W. I mean, yes, go drown yourself. Get a. Does Popeyes have like a bucket? Like you get 20 pieces.
Yeah.
Get 20 pieces and eat. Like enjoy yourself. I don't know. I mean, watching that game, watching these last games, I mean, they're just even against Carolina. If Picker doesn't stand on his head, make a save. Yeah. A breakaway save with 20 seconds left, which is McDavid turning the puck over inside the blue. Like you're just like, what is going on? Our pets' heads are falling off. But, it's fixable. Guys need to play better. I thought McDavid looked fantastic last night.
Had that jump, right?
Outside of that, so I'll tell you a quick story. I used to play in the minors, in my first year in the minors, with this guy named Jari Gronstrand. He was like a Finnish or Swedish guy.
Not a real person. Not a real person. I refuse to
Google him.
Yeah.
Jari Gronstrand. And he was this chubby guy, lazy player. And he was a healthy scratch. And then we had an optional practice the next day. And he didn't go out because he took his option. And our coach his name was Butch Goring. And Butch walked into the room and he goes, Jari, are you going to skate today? And Jari just turns to him and goes, not today, Butch. That's because he is in his broken language, right?
Butch.
So here's why I'm going to tie this story to the Edmonton Oilers. When they're not going, and when a player's not going that night, I just feel like they're just going to say, not tonight, Butch, not tonight. So Draisaitl scored a goal, but last night it was not tonight, Butch. Not going to have it.
Yeah.
Not going to. And it went right down the line. RNH. I thought Zach Hyman didn't look good. I thought Adam Henrique looked. And honestly, it right through the lineup. Bouchard's been out to lunch on and off all season long, and that's affected Ekholm's play. I thought Darnell Nurse, was chasing the play. And here's one thing, and this is wrong of me to say, but I do want you guys to think of it. This team is looked different the minute that John Klingberg went into the lineup. I swear to God, he is.
We
slowed that
said it this
defense.
morning, Noodles. I was like, he's like +4 and he's got 4 points, but like the team, since they brought him in, like that's when they fell off. I don't know what it is.
The night against Toronto, he's out there. All of a sudden, it's offside. There's a point gone. To me, he looks like a contest winner. Like he's out there skating around. You're like, okay, they're too slow to this play too. Yeah, the hands are there, but the feet aren't. And in today's game, you need the feet. And Edmonton being an older team, some nights are not going to have it. But I thought like his play, he's chasing the play left and right. You're like, God, like at some point, maybe you need, a little bit more speed back there because he's a guy who tries to slow the game down. You can't slow the game down from the back end. You've got to speed it up, and you've got to get your forwards the puck. So, again, I'm not going to tie anything to John Klingberg, but he's a guy I can circle and go, like, things look different since he's been inserted into the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to relate it directly to him, but they added a different piece to a group that'd been the best team in the league in 2 months. And they just haven't clicked since then, which is interesting. Now, last night, once again, Knobloch, after the game last night, described his team as fragile after the second goal, a goal that Pickard should have stopped. But the team just sort of folded after that. Then they give up 2 goals in 10 seconds shortly after that. Noodles, what do you do with some sort of goaltending solution? Even if it's these two guys just somehow playing better. Would that fix what ails this group right now, or is it more than just that conversation?
So it's easy to just go goaltending, but yes, goaltending has to be better. There's no doubt. I'm not going to argue that. When you're giving up 6 a night and even, it's just you're chasing it. But the play in front of them, they go hand in hand. So the Oilers start like a house on fire. McDavid partial breakaway, first 10 seconds of the game, chances left and right. First chance they give up is a breakaway. It's an 80-foot pass from Draisaitl, saucer, bounces over Kulak's stick, way you go, breakaway. Pickard makes the save. You're like, okay, that's the save you need to keep the momentum going. They haven't gotten timely goaltending. You're going to give up goals. You're going to have missed assignments. But when this team, and I can just use one word, sync. When this team is in sync, they are feeding off each other. The goaltending's making the saves they should, and the players in front of them are making the plays that they should to have that trust. Right now, they're disconnected. And to me, the forwards aren't connected with the D aren't connected with the goaltending, and the defensive zone system is the dog park defense right now. You've got, I think it was McTavish's second goal was you've got Draisaitl late on the play, but you've got Kulak and Bouchard standing behind the net.
Yeah.
You could put a hula hoop around them and go, why are you both standing behind the net? The puck doesn't go in from behind the net. To me, they're disconnected defensively. And then, I thought Pickard just looked sluggish. Like he looked late on plays. Yes, he got a bad bounce. I think the Colangelo first goal.
That was the one that bounced and got behind him.
Yeah, it hits a stick. It hits Kulak's right shin pad, I think. But you could just tell at some point you need somebody to stop the bleeding. And it was like they were watching the game instead of participating in it. And it's too bad because, listen, here's another philosophy of mine. Do they want to win the Pacific? I don't know. Do you want to win the Pacific and somehow face Colorado in that second spot? I mean, now maybe Minnesota drops to that.
Yeah.
That being said, or are you just comfortable maybe getting second or third and facing LA for a 12th time in I don't know, but I don't think this is the formula that they've drawn up going, hey, let's really stub our toe coming out of this break so that we can stay second or third in the Pacific. It just, the team looks disconnected right now. They've got to find a way. Yes, in net can cover up everything because Pickard, I thought he was a big part of their win in Carolina, or else they would have went 0-5 on that trip. But last night, he didn't play well, and the team in front of him fell apart for 50 minutes after the first 10 minutes.
TSN's Jamie McLennan joining us here on the Nielson Show. You mentioned Klingberg, and maybe if not highly coincidental, but yes, it's pretty damning to see the pre and post since he's joined the team. Oilers making another addition yesterday, although not being able to join here for the next couple weeks is Trent Frederic there. What's the scout on him? Is it a spoonful of Frederic that'll cure what ails this team right now?
Well, isn't he hurt for quite a while?
Yeah, Chris Johnson said yesterday he might not play until playoffs, and then the timeline that popped up around town was at least 2 to 3 weeks. So we're not going to see him for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, it is. You could argue that Evander Kane at his best is something that this team could use. I honestly think they need a number 4 defenseman. I think Emberson's playing too high in the lineup. I think he's a perfect 6. I think Kulak's your perfect 5. So if you have Ekholm and Bouchard, and then you have Nurse and insert player. Yeah. Insert. I've been on the Jacob Trouba train. I don't think he looked great last night. I thought it looked a little bit slow. But he might be reinvigorated with a new team. Somebody like that. You need a 4 that can play, that can stabilize Darnell Nurse, and then everything trickles down. Then Kulak's your true 5, and then Emberson can be your 6, and then whoever else is at Stetcher, or if it's Dermott or whoever else you believe can take spot duty. Klingberg, to me, that pushes Klingberg to the 7. I just don't see Klingberg as a guy, when the game speeds up down the stretch and gets heavier, as a guy you're going to go, hey, we need him in the lineup. So I want to give him some bandwidth. He hasn't played in a long time and get up to speed. But I do think they need an upgrade on defense. And then, the Frederic move, you got to decide what you're going to do with Kane. And then even a guy like Nick Bjugstad as a fourth-line center.
He was a good fit here last time, man. He was.
I thought he was fantastic. But you need size. You need size and a guy who can be physical. Because that's, this team, it's even watching them last night, it's circle away, it's turn away from hit, turn away. They're not a physical team. And yes, you can turn it up in the playoffs when Draisaitl and McDavid start to get physical, and then that, trickles down to Hyman and, the Arvidsson. I mean, if he wasn't 4 feet tall, he'd be really effective. He's not a big guy. He gets pushed off pucks. Not because he doesn't try and doesn't, stick his nose in there. He's just small. He's just a tiny little man. It's unfortunate because I think he's a really good player, but I just don't know if it's consistently, if you're going to play a team like LA or Vegas, you're going to need size and irritability. And that's where Frederic, Kane, guys like that come in, and maybe a heavier defenseman like a Trouba or something can help add to the Nurse and Draisaitl and guys who can play physical in the playoffs.
Let's just follow up that physicality comment because last night they're getting pumped. Nothing of any sort of roughness happens until Janmark goes to the crease with 3.5 minutes left and there's some pushing and shoving. They're dead last in the league in hits. You said it. I mean, when you get to the playoffs, and we've seen it, McDavid and Draisaitl start crashing and banging and everybody sort of follows along. Could that be what gets them out of this? Do they got to go out and just start hitting everything that moves for a couple of games and see if it gets the entire group engaged?
Well, I remember when they were on their streak, the team would be a little bit lackluster to start the game, and all of a sudden Corey Perry would take it into his hands and have a fight or do something. This team needs to be dragged in emotionally. Last night, and the games that they've lost, they look uninterested. They look like Evan Bouchard. They look like Evan Bouchard's personality on the ice. That's not good. You can have one of those guys. You can have maybe a couple of them. You can't have 18 of them skating around going, yeah, not tonight, Butch, something like that. It's just, to me, I'm a Bouchard fan. I think he's had a terrible season based on his standards. He had 2 good looks last night in really prime situations, one-timers right kind of through the slot, and buried him into the chest of the goaltender. I mean, and not even stopped on the puck, circled away okay, yeah, that didn't go in. This team cannot play uninterested. That's not, and yes, there's drop-offs and all of that and maybe lulls, but you got to find a way in these last 20 games to up your intensity.
Noodles, before we let you go, first, so who was the player again? What was the guy's name? Not tonight.
Yari Gronstad.
Yari Gronstad. Okay, I got to look this guy up. And then
check out the Capital District Islanders in 1991.
All right.
In the AHL.
And we did tease it right before we brought you on. What is your favorite Seinfeld episode? Yeah, I'm curious about this.
What's the guy? Frankie Merman, the guy who'd bury himself in
fragile Frankie Merman.
Fragile Frankie Merman.
Wow.
Fragile Frankie. Okay, so that one, and then do you remember when George was the hand model?
Yes.
And he was wearing oven mitts, and he goes to Frank and Estelle's house, and he's sitting there with the emery board on the couch, and she leans over and goes, George, would you? And he goes, not now, Mom. I'll take some Jell-O. And then Frank goes, you put bananas in the Jell-O. And she's like, George likes it that way. That whole argument, that whole series, but especially that episode, I loved. It's the best.
Good stuff. Enjoy the deadline, buddy, and we'll catch up again next week.
All right, sounds good. Chat soon.
There you go. That's how about the Oilers right now are fragile Frankie Murphy.
Seinfeld's van.
Seinfeld's van. He's digging it. Oh, man. Seinfeld. I still think that's the best draft we ever did during the pandemic.
Well, Corbeil stole the show.
You, me, McCord, and Chris Corbeil, and we drafted Seinfeld characters, then came back the next day with an entire script laid out. And Corbeil had one of the funniest episodes I've ever.
Was it
I
the
guess,
coffee?
listened to.
The coffee something or other? Was it
Something along those? He tied
yeah.
it all back in. It was perfect, absolutely perfect. Jamie McLennan describing the Oilers right now as a team that's just playing like Evan Bouchard. Ugh.
Not today.
I mean,
Butch.
he's not tonight, Butch. Yeah, not today, Butch. That was a good story. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. We are 21 away from changing 200 here before it's 7:30. That's a nice mark to get to. So if you're watching over on YouTube today, and there's a bunch of you watching over there, 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. And we'll get to a few more of your text messages as we work our way through this thing. Free advice for Damon Bunting's coming up. And we'll get to your Nate Trade Watch segment for the Construction Leadership and Supervision Program at Nate. We'll go there around 7:45 today. The Oilers did pull the trigger on a deal yesterday. They got to get a defenseman, though. I mean,
You're not satisfied yet.
I won't be. I don't. And I guess we'll get to it during the Trade Watch segment, but I know it's like a money in, money out thing. And if that's the case, then Klingberg makes $1.7 million. He's got to go the other way in a deal. Like, you're not moving. I don't think you're trading Emberson.
No. Go down the list, right? Like, it's a process of elimination here.
I don't see another team taking on Klingberg unless just sweeten the pot a little bit. You know, like, and that's not going to be ideal. So they managed to get very creative with the Frederic deal. And
Yes.
we'll recap the whole thing at 7:45. They managed to get creative. They had to get creative with it. Can they get that creative again and actually get a relatively significant piece on the back end? To me, that's the must accomplish prior to the deadline. If they can please everybody and find some sort of change between the pipes, go for it. If they can somehow, we'll see what happens with this Evander Kane status thing. But if they can somehow find a top six forward to come in and make it so that Arvidsson isn't by default in the top six all the time, do that too. But you have to address one more defenseman on that back end, I think. All right, we'll dive into your cool bet play of the day here. ESC parlay did not hit. The Oilers, in case you missed it, did not win in regulation.
Off to a good, like, it was.
Yeah,
it was.
When they were up, well, McDavid to Draisaitl, because the play last night was McDavid 2 points, Draisaitl goal, and when that happened early, I thought, oh man, it's on now. Like, this parlay,
a lot of time to play.
This parlay is live. Instead, it backfired horribly in all of our faces, mine especially. We did hit the lock shot partner parlay yesterday. That was a 3-gamer. So hopefully you were riding with us on that one. And then my lock shot play of the day yesterday, which we posted on the Cool Bet socials, was Draisaitl over 1.5 points. So I'm 2-0 so far this week on that. And Huss was 5-0 last week. So Lock Shop Crew's delivering some dubs. Just make sure you get on social media and ride with us on some of this stuff. As for tonight, what do we got tonight? I will note, once again, I mentioned it earlier, our next Lock Shop Poker Series event going down this Sunday night, 7 o'clock. Nice little Sunday, roll into Monday, red hot after maybe a final table or something along those lines. So make sure you join us. Everybody who's playing those poker events, have a great time. There'll be a bounty on my head. So if you knock me out of the tournament, you're bringing in that cash. Bounty on Hustler's head. Bounty on Remo's head. I think Tommy's going to play. We'll probably have a bounty on Tommy's head.
Get those old Western style posters and have your guys,
bounty. Yeah. Actually, that would be a fun thing to design. Yeah. All right. NHL tonight. Ottawa is in Chicago to take on the Blackhawks. Washington -122 on the road against the Rangers. Maple Leafs and Golden Knights. Golden Knights -154 at home. The Kings are -157 at home against the St. Louis Blues. Los Angeles struggling as well, just like the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
And the Canucks are -216 against the Ducks, who are rolling out there for the second half of a back-to-back here. Obviously, rolling in hot, though, after beating the Edmonton Oilers.
Kings at home, though,
last
tonight.
night. The Kings are at home tonight. I think, let's see if I should just move this. This is what we're going to do. Capitals Rangers under 6.5. The line is 6. If you want to take it at 6, you can take it at 6. You might get a push at 6 in a 4-2 game at -110. I don't mind just moving it up to -137 and taking the under 6.5. Rangers have won back-to-back games. by a score of 4-0. They're not allowing much right now. We know Washington's been a little stingy throughout the year. So Rangers and Capitals under 6.5 goals, minus 137. That will be the Nielsen Show play of the day with our partners over at Cool Bets. And what you do is you go in there, you can see the 6, and then just hit the little drop-down menu next to it. You can move it to 6.5. You can move it to 7. You can move it to 5.5, 5, or 4.5. But let's go Rangers, Capitals under 6.5 at minus 137 for the play tonight. Of course, Alexander Ovechkin continues his pursuit of the great one, Wayne Gretzky. JD texts in and says, guys, I'm just saying, after a long road trip, is anyone surprised that they looked sluggish last night?
Stop stealing Chris Sadaway's thunder.
JD is in. It says the second period highlights the same text came in. Well, this was last night. This is a post game text from last night, but I like it. The second period highlights everything that's wrong with the Oilers. They spend 90% of the period in Anaheim's end, but only take 9 shots. Draisaitl doesn't pick up Strome and allows him to score. There's no trade that is going to turn this around. We can't trade 6 players. There's too much dead weight.
But we've seen that weight play good at times this season for stretches, right? We've said this has been a streaky organization over the past couple years. You brought up the Peter Pan analogy. Are you still looking at the face?
Peter? You in there, Peter?
I mean, have you...
Are they? Dr. J says, if the Oilers don't improve, I would be happy for Noodles to just switch to a Seinfeld moment segment. Just joins us every Wednesday for 15 minutes to talk about different Seinfeld episodes.
He gets it, though.
Noodles?
Like in terms of the Seinfeld, like that whole Estelle Frank and George thing, like that was brilliant.
All right, we'll get to a few more of your text messages coming up. We got a sports update for Park Mazda. Free advice for Damon Bunting. What do you need help with? We'd like to help you today. Right? You're here. You're probably kind of sad and worried and concerned. And maybe there's something else going on. Life advice, relationship advice, work advice, fantasy sports advice. What do you need help with? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Or hit us up over in the nasty chat. But the boys are here. We're going to give you free advice. We've got like 2 generations. Trev's a younger guy. He's got advice for younger people. And then Rick and I take care of all that other stuff.
Sure.
Right? I think. And then we'll get into Nate Trade Watch. Dun, 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 dun. Take a look at how creative the Oilers had to get to pull off this Frederic deal.
AKA
can they do
Watch.
it again? Can they do it again? Yeah. And the latest on Evander Kane. There is no latest. Let's get to a sports update for Park Mazda right now with Lieutenant Eric.
Oilers falling flat on home ice, 6-2 to the Ducks. Leon Draisaitl, though, would open the scoring with his 45th goal of the season. That's the league lead. Kelvin Pickard, though, allowing 4 goals on 11 shots. He'd be yanked after 1. Edmonton 3-7 in its last 10. Back on the ice tomorrow night when they welcome in the Montreal Canadiens. Off the ice this morning, the Blue Jackets signing forward Mathieu Olivier to a 6-year, $18 million extension. He's got 12 goals and 21 points in 61 games this season while amassing 113 PIMs. Other action from last night, Thomas Harley scored with 5 seconds remaining in regulation to lift the Stars over the Devils 4-3. Jets have now dropped 3 straight following a 3-2 loss to the Islanders. Wild holding off the Kraken 4-3, and the Flames, they snap a 3-game slide with a 6-3 victory over the Flyers. Tonight, the Kings will host the Blues. The Golden Knights are at home to the Leafs, while the Ducks are in Vancouver to play the Canucks. The Edmonton Oil Kings back home to kick off a 5-game homestand tonight against the Brandon Wheat Kings. Oil Kings a point back of Brandon for 5th in the Eastern Conference. Over to the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers have now won 11 in a row with a 139-117 victory over the Bulls, while LeBron James becomes the first player in NBA history to score 50,000 combined points in the regular and postseason as the Lakers would smash the Pelicans 136-115. 8 games around the league tonight. Cavs look for their 12th in a row at home to the Heat, while the West-leading Thunder visit Memphis. And over to the Briar, Kevin Cooey's 2-3 rink will take on Brad Gushu this morning and at New Brunswick later tonight. Brad Jacobs, meanwhile, enters plate at a 5-0 and will be up against Ontario this afternoon. Sports update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where every vehicle on their lot has an AMC, an all-movement clause.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Hey Pete, hey Poho, tell them what you did. It was a big blockbuster made cause Ebbs was lackluster, so in the end he just had to go. Yeah, that sounds about right. They sent him to New York and they landed Ryan Strome. Now he's got a song on the show. Right. He does all kinds of drills that give you all kinds of thrills, but the thrill he's never known is a thrill like he's dreaming. All the fans are screaming, it's another goal for Ryan Strome. Ryan Strome. Wanna see him dangle Ryan Suter. Strome. Wanna see him be 97 shooter. Yeah. Wanna see that smiling face. It's another goal for Ryan Strome. That's a very, very good thing.
We know this sexy old lady named Renee, baby, who likes to wear men's jeans. She's got a Ryan Strome road jersey, and it's bursting right at the seams.
Now this song's designed to blow your mind, but your minds won't really be blown like the blow you'll be feeling at Rogers Place, screaming, it's another goal for Ryan Strome. Ryan Strome. Wanna see him dangle Ryan Suter. Strome. Wanna see him be 97 shooter. Strome. Wanna see that smiling face. It's another goal for Ryan Strome.
That's a very, very bad thing last night. That was not good. Ryan Strome. I think Leon was just being a good former teammate. Like when he was right next to him at the blue line, I wonder if he said, "Hey Stromer, go bury one here. Let's get you one. I'm just going to sit back here and glide in.
Yeah.
And then you can have this one."
I mean, following his stellar assist to set up that first goal.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, Leon was on fire last night, both ways.
Tough one for Draisaitl. He's been so good all year.
Still, I maintain.
But last night, just everything was.
Checks the bench in Florida. Probably a little banged up, right?
You think that's what it was?
Well, that's what's slowing you down.
Those songs, our Nielson Show originals, are brought to you by Totem Outdoor Outfitters. New gear, used gear, trade and consign. A sport for every season with hockey equipment and skates, of course, ready to go year-round. Family store that takes pride in finding the right fit for you. Visit them at 7430 99th Street or online at www.totemoutfitters.ca. A great way to get your kids in their first pair of skates. 7430 99th Street. Or online, of course, check them out, www.outfitters.ca. Rob from LA says that goal song, Strome goal song, it's gold, Jerry, gold. Nice little Seinfeld reference coming in there as well. All right, 780-218-9999. It is the Paris Jewelers inbox, www.parisjewelers.com. What do you need help with? It is free advice time. Buying or selling, Damon Bunting is your guy. He's been doing it for like almost 2 decades. It's ridiculous. He's that good. He's getting homes. He's selling them higher than you would expect. And overall, he's just a good community dude. Check it out. www.damonbunting.com or the Instagram handle of Damon Bunting Real Estate.
He's great on the gram.
Always posting photos of homes, and then they're sold right away. He's extremely, extremely efficient.
Changing 200.
Changing 200. That's good. Let's change 300. Why not? It's a Wednesday. Let's go. Hammer that thumbs up for us over on YouTube and sub to the channel if you haven't already. All right, what do you need help with? 780-218-9999 or over in the Nasty Chat if you need a little free advice over there. That's something we can do as well. Let's get to this one. This one actually slid into my DMs last night. Boys, the Oilers are upping my season tickets by 15% after jacking them by 12% last year. Should I keep paying the asking price, or is it time I just give them away and watch from home?
Is this a Mavs joke?
No, this is double what the Mavs did.
Yeah.
Look, man, I can't tell you what to do with your money.
You don't tell people.
I find it a little hard to believe that they upped them 12% last year and are going 15% this year. And that's, you're gouging people essentially at that point. I had another guy last night who was tweeting at me being like, Dusty, their tickets ridiculous. I used to be lower bowl. Now I'm going to be up at the roof, trying to hang on there for close to the same price. So, I mean, what do you do for work? How much money do you make? Can you afford another 15% on your tickets after 12% last year? Have they really upped ticket prices by 27% over the last 2 years? Somebody confirm that. It seems
That's what
seems a little unreasonable to me.
Maybe it's just that particular fan. They've identified the seat.
Just that one guy.
You keep yelling, shoot. You want to do that? Then
here's a sucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the guy who says no, his kids can't have ice cream, then buys them ice cream 3 minutes later. That's what after the 12% increase last year, the guy's like, you know what? I'm in. But if you ever do this again, I'm out. Yeah. And then this year they're like 15%. He's like, I'm in. I'm still in. Also, shout out to Marshall. Because today, this is how kids are. Elizabeth was the same way. Today's the last morning he'll ever watch the show as a 9-year-old. So, Marsh, enjoy your last day as a 9-year-old, buddy.
Single digits.
Getting the double digits.
Yep.
I'm going to be in tears all morning tomorrow morning.
Man, 3 years till a teenager.
Shut up. Yeah, he's like 6 years away from working here at a full-time basis. He's going to fast-track high school and get over here right away.
Can't wait till he learns to drive. That'll be a trip. Seeing him behind
I mean, you can get your learners at 14, right?
Yeah.
So Marshall could be 4 years. Let's do it, Trev. Go hit it. Go switch it up. All right. We were on a little bit of a circle there. We're hoping that things keep rolling along. Remember, we have that fallback thing in place now. I don't even know if it was a hiccup on the stream, but we have the fallback in place where the show will just keep spinning and it won't kick you out to another show. So just a heads up on that if the internet. I have other people texting me confirming that ticket prices went up 12% last year and 15% for next year.
Bones would say it's worth it if Clefbaum is at every home game.
I mean, he's a handsome man.
It's the Clefbaum tax.
He's a handsome man.
I bet you Marshall could walk in right now and probably get his learners. If he walked in there with a little confidence, they'd. It
is funny because
we'll be coming. You look 22.
We'll be coming out of power skating on Thursday nights, and there's like U13 teams and like teams out there, or U15 team.
Fit right in.
And some of these kids on the U15 team, like Marshall walks by and they like look at him, and I'm like, hey, he's 9. You're 13. Yeah. He's 9. Like, yeah, that's a tough one. Jay says playoff tickets have gone up 40% in 2 years. I can't even sell them to make money anymore. Nobody will pay these prices.
Yes, somebody unsigned here. Boys, 15% for seasons is minor. Playoff seats up 30 last year and 20 this year.
Jeez Louise. Oh, well, as long as concession prices stay reasonable, I guess that's
it's a balancing act, yeah.
Pitwall Nasty's in says the Oilers jacked the prices big time, bunch of jerks. They also effectively glitter bombed my desk when I opened the renewal package. Hampton Steve says, guys, I need some advice. Since I won't have to spend money on round 2 to 4 playoff tickets this year, what should I spend my money on instead?
It's a shot.
Oh, man, that is a trip. Go on a trip somewhere? Why not? I think that's something that you could. Do. Man, I can't. That's. Well, I guess it's the price of doing business. I don't know. I mean,
yeah. I mean, are you not a fan? That's the question.
So what's next year? Like if they did 12% last year or heading into this year, and they're doing a 15% ticket price increase for next year, what do they do after? 20% the following year? Like,
sure.
I don't know, man. Like,
it got you.
Here we go. Let's see here. I got some ticket. If the Oilers make the Stanley Cup final and they go the distance with home ice, the 16 games would cost you $21,000. How's a fan supposed to drop $21,000 on a playoff run?
That's without concession, food.
Now,
and
that would be.
That's going totally stone sober.
Yeah, that's without doing anything else. For 2 tickets, to the first round, it's almost $800 per game.
What would you do with $21,000? Like, you just get, here you go. Here's like, I mean, I could stretch that. I could retire.
20.
I'd be able to do it.
You're like Seth Rogen in Knocked Up, who won
totally
that lawsuit and got like 18 grand 9 years ago, and he's still living off of it.
I could do it.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so look, I can't give you advice on this. I mean, if you have the money and you love the team and that's your thing, then do it. I take my family to like one game a year, and it costs us like $1,000. And I can't justify doing that over and over and over again. It's crazy.
RCN says, what? Do you expect to get in for free?
You know what? You will get these tickets for cheaper at fansfirst.ca. I saw tickets selling. I brought this up to Hernan. You were sitting with Hernan the other day when I was like, wow, it's only $3 to get into this Blazers-Sixers game tonight. And he was like, what do you mean? Like, is that a Coolbet bet? I said, no. He goes, I said, it's a ticket price. He goes, where? On Coolbet? I said, no. To get into the game, it's $3.
He couldn't believe it. Is that a Coolbet?
Lucas says he would go to 21,000 Grey Cups with that money.
Yeah.
Just to keep them coming in. Company seats, not personal seats, but our Loge table for the first round, 4 games.
I don't want to hear it.
The Loge table for the first round for 4 games. Eric, you earmuffed this thing. $50,000.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. $50,000. I got you. Come on, that's not real.
Well, you passed
for the
hat
first
around,
round for a Loge table with 4 seats, $50,000.
Split by 4?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, if you split it by 4, it's just over 12. It's $12,250 per person. And then, that's 4 games. It's only like $3,000. It's only $3,000 a game per person. And Connor Brown has 1 goal in the last 30 games. Please. Come on. I'm starting to think the Oilers must make quite a bit of money. They must be doing pretty well.
Doing okay.
It can't be $50,000 for a Loge table for 1 round. That guy's got to be lying to us.
Yeah, a lot of fishing tails.
Now, with that being said, the guy who texted that in is Aaron the accountant.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. Oh. That's a lot of money. Rob the plumber says, this is why I never take my family to an Oilers game. Ridiculous. Elks, here we go. Yeah, you can get your entire family season tickets to the Elks for like less than $800.
You can have a hell of a spring and a summer with all the other, the baseballs, the basketballs, the footballs.
Jeffy says, for corporate seats, you can write some of that off as a business expense, but still, that's obscene.
I love writing it off. And it's not Jeffy the accountant either, just Jeffy.
Jason Leduc says, I swear if it wasn't for you guys, I probably would have sworn off pro sports by now. Disgrossing.
Well, they're never. None of this is ever going down. You know what I mean?
No,
I mean we all cheer when salary caps go up and everything goes up and up and up on that end. But look at baseball for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And $1 billion play. Like it's all gonna. It's a runaway train, baby.
The only thing that goes down is the deal on 6 o'clocker lager right now at Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, $12.99. $12.99 is the best bang for your buck. Pick up 4 6 o'clocker lagers, sit at home, drink them, watch the game, and if you don't like the way it's going, pick up 4 more, drink those. You won't even remember the game. For just $12.99.
Mind eraser.
See, that's the type of thing where guys pay this much for tickets. If you want to boo the team, boo the team.
If you want to start the wave, start the wave.
Do whatever that. Don't start the wave in a 2-1 game in the third period. But I know what you're saying. Like, you should be able to do whatever you want with the amount you're paying to get into Rogers to watch a hockey game. Like, that's crazy. Gager's in the chat. Shout out Gager. Gager, good job staying composed with Stoff about to spontaneous combust right next to you.
Looked great.
In the first intermission. He says no Clef Bomb song today. You know what, Gager? Why not? Let's just do it again. We hit it earlier.
Oh, baby. Yeah.
Oh, listen to this. 18,000 watching every night. No more staph infection, so you can take flight. It's okay that you don't shoot right. Your future's still very bright.
Your future's very bright.
A 7-year deal is what you sign with an AAV that we don't mind. So now with Lawson by your side, yeah, we know you're gonna be just fine.
You know who you are.
Clefbaum, yeah. Oscar Clefbaum. Every time you score a goal, we're gonna play the song. Clefbaum, Oscar Clefbaum. And Oscar, you can do no wrong.
Oscar, you can do no wrong.
Clefbaum, Oscar Clefbaum. Every time you score a goal, we're gonna play the song. Clefbaum, Oscar Clefbaum. And Oscar, you can do no wrong.
You can do no wrong.
And Oscar, you can do no wrong.
There you go, Gager. That's for you, buddy. Good job last night, as always. Repping EST very well. All right, let's slide into the Nate Trade Watch segment. Enough advice. I mean, we didn't even give advice. If you have the money, you have the money. If you don't have the money, you don't have the money.
Yes.
That's just, I mean, for somebody to have season tickets, it's like a pretty good portion of your income. Like, if you make let's say you make $60,000 a year, how do you spend $12,000 on season tickets? You know, like that's
well, you live in a
small apartment just so you can
and
go to
you
Oilers games.
Take a public train,
well, then they damn well
we can shave off.
They
a lot
better
here.
play better than they did last night if you pay that much money for them. Like, oh, that Clefbaum goal song was brought to you by Totem Outfitters. As we said, these guys are gonna get a lot of love. www.totemoutfitters.ca. Visit them 7430 99th Street. Family store. Take pride in finding the right fit for you for your sports equipment. All right, let's get into the trade watch. We had a trade yesterday go down for the Edmonton Oilers. We dove into it a little bit. We'll take more of a conversation on it here. Your thoughts on the Trent Frederic deal? 780-218-9999. Take your career to the next level with Nate's Construction, Leadership, and Supervision Program. The perfect tool for professionals looking to advance their role or an organization needing to develop leaders. You got 4 or 5 journeymen. You're like, man, I think these guys could, eventually take over here. Send them to this program. For more information and to register, visit nate.ca/CLSP to take your career to another level. Huge shout out to the Construction Leadership and Supervision Program for sponsoring all of our trade deadline coverage this week, right here and only here on Edmonton Sports Talk. And think about this. You're sitting there, you're journeyman. You're like, one day I'd like to be able to afford season tickets to the Oilers. And you think, well, maybe I need to become a foreman to do this. So you take this program, nate.ca/CLSP, and yada, yada, yada. A year later, you're sitting in the lower bowl. And you can still afford to eat. So that's nice. Trev, your thoughts on the Frederic deal yesterday, buddy? Haven't really dove into this too much yet. And, of course, your thoughts, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Obviously, we're not sure when we're going to see him. But what do you think of the fit, buddy? A lot of people have been talking about Trent Frederic as a possible target. He is a UFA. Gave up a second, Max Warner, to bring him in. I'm not really factoring in Max Jones. A fourth, I guess, moved out as well. Hopefully you get him for part of the regular season to help lock up at least home ice in the first round. But Trev, your thoughts on the deal?
The Philip Broberg second. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It was, yeah.
Anyway, I'm trying to forget about that.
Too soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny how we were just talking about it, and then boom, this is the trade that happens. I kind of overvalued it at first, but yeah, they got the trade done. Looking at the stats, I mean, I think you nailed it at the top of the first hour. He can't do any worse than what the Oilers got right now. Like, he's going to come in and he can score. He's 17 goals followed by 18 goal season. And then this year he's been struggling and he's been fighting it, but that whole team has. I don't fault it on just him. So you get a guy that he's a decent skater. He can put the puck in the net, but the thing that is most known about Trent Frederic is he's physical and he can fight, man. Like, he looks like a softie, but when I got home yesterday, I was like, I want to see some of this guy's
He's
fights.
had 4 fights so far this year.
Yeah, and he dominates. He fought Tom Wilson. There's a guy last year on Columbus that he fought, just one punched him, just nothing. And yeah, so
fought Corey Perry in January.
Perry, and I mean, Corey Perry, like, he's a tough guy, he's a little bit older, but Trent Frederic, man, he destroyed him. So yeah, I like this. The Oilers need this, especially last night. Matthias Janmark behind the net getting dummied by 2 Ducks. This guy, he's going to come in. He's going to make his presence known whenever that may be. I don't mind this. I don't mind what they traded to get a player like this. The fact that it might be a rental, I always hate that, but you got to do what you got to do. The Oilers were creative, and that's the most creative they've been. Ken Holland wasn't going to do anything like that. It was 1 for 1. It was no salary retained. He was pretty straightforward with his trade. So I like the flexibility on the trade there, and I'm optimistic with this player. I am. I think he's going to bring a lot to the table. So I like it.
You hope it's a situation where he doesn't cost you too much to resign for your bottom 6 if you like him.
Yeah.
Like the Oilers last night, Knobloch calls them fragile. I thought they looked broken last night, like just dysfunctional at times. But we know they're the oldest team in the league, and they're slower than they were last year. Like these are decisions that they made where at the time, I think most people were like, oh yeah, okay, it makes sense. But they've backfired big time. So maybe Frederic's a guy that you can keep around for the next few years that can provide some much needed sandpaper in a Charmin soft team right now. Like It's just they looked old and super soft last night.
Yeah, I remember
there's no jam in their game at all.
I happened to watch his first game of the year this year, and it was a few months in, I believe, and they speak highly of this guy. I remember they got Trent Frederic. He's back tonight. That's going to be huge for the Bruins. He brings a lot to the table. Like they speak very highly of the player. So, and he's kind of a playoff, if you will, player. He's physical. Him on a third line, maybe a third line center. Evander Kane on the left, Corey Perry. Like that's a lot of toughness on that line. So, yeah, that's another reason why I like it, I guess.
All right, I'm sure you've saw all of it yesterday, but let's just quickly recap this deal because it took a little bit of moving things around. The Bruins traded Frederic with 50% of his salary retained to the Devils in exchange for unsigned draft choice Peter Hauser. Then New Jersey sends Frederic with another 50% retained to Edmonton, so Edmonton brings him in at just 25%. In exchange for unsigned draft choice Shane LaChance, who by all accounts and reports was not going to sign here.
His daddy's a Devil.
His dad is the head U.S. scout for the Devils. So he'll sign a contract there. But, a guy that you wish would have signed here, I think. Captain of Boston University. Like, people speak very highly of him.
Sure.
Was ranked as one of their top 10 prospects, but didn't look like he was going to sign here. So kind of got out of that. And then Boston sends Max Jones and Peter Hauser, who they got from New Jersey, to Edmonton in exchange for Max Wanner, St. Louis's second-round pick, and Edmonton's own fourth-round pick. The Blues pick, of course, being in 2025. The Oilers' fourth-rounder in 2026. That's how. So they had to get extremely creative to pull off the Frederic deal.
And we said the flexibility and the contortionist style would have to be there, and that was on display yesterday. So, again, going into this trade deadline with this management group, you're like, what can we expect? What can we see? I don't think you would have gotten that from Kenny Holland. Fair?
No, but Ken Holland found ways to bring guys in.
He found ways. He brought him in, but I'm just saying this type of acrobatics is encouraging, I guess, as we make our way through the week towards Friday.
Here's what the Oilers have left as far as draft capital goes. To use here to sweeten some pots possibly and have other teams retain moving forward. They are first rounder in this year's gone, second rounder now gone, fourth rounder gone, fifth rounder gone. So they have a third this year, a sixth and a seventh. And then in 2026, they've got their first, second, and third, no fourth. And in 2027, they got their first, second, and third, no fourth. So they've got some ammo still if picks need to be included to have somebody take a contract for a defenseman. If you need to dump salary the other way to try to bring somebody in, you could throw, Kapanen makes $1 million, Klingberg makes 1.7. That's 2.7 mil that you could send out the door. You'd have to sweeten it and use picks and stuff. Or, there's ways to still, I think, get your hands on a $3 or $4 million player. You just have to be creative, and it's going to cost you some picks as cap retention. in some places.
You flip Max Jones.
We'll see how Max Jones factors in.
Well, I mean, as somebody asks here, Cozy, would you guys bring up Max Jones? He has some size, bring something this team is lacking. Not like anyone in the bottom six is doing anything that they couldn't come out of the line.
I think that's why they brought him in as essentially, I think, a throw-in in the deal is that he is a big body. He spent the past 4 seasons in the National Hockey League. Hasn't worked out yet this year. He's in the American League. He's been there for most of the year. But I think it's a guy that if you need to in a pinch, in a bottom 6, run into some injuries, at least there's a guy that's got, a couple hundred games in the NHL and you can slot him in if need be. And he's bigger than a lot of the guys that they have down there. Dex is in. It says, stop drafting U.S. college players already. Because they sign him or not sign him. That's a tough one. A Rams fan says, maybe I'm an SG, but if this keeps going, I guarantee Knobloch will not be coaching the remainder of the season. Oh,
well, how keeps going to what? What's your... Yeah, if they lose every single game in the remainder of the regular season.
If they lose 10 more in a row, maybe there's something there. But
Again, this Habs team, winners of 5 straight, playing for like... The Ducks, too, as I said, they have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Like, they were as loose as a team could be coming in last night. So compare that to where the Oilers are in this fragile state. It's not a good recipe.
Yeah, Montreal coming in with 2 days off between games, too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was wondering if they played tonight and there were going to be a second half of back-to-back, but it's not the case. Peter into the Parachuters inbox today at 780-218-9999 says, I said it in the pregame show, Frederic reminds me of a more physical Warren Fogle. Which is a good thing. I like the trade. That one in from Peter today. If you are listening over on YouTube or watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. We are 61 away from changing 300. So let's smash through that. Could be a 400 day. We've got a pretty good third hour on the show as well. Bronco Nick says, cue the Mr. Jones goal song. Oh, the Jones. I would love for them to acquire a Jones. So we could do.
Jones.
If he actually. Are we thinking Aqua? Are we thinking Dr. Jones? Dr. Jones calling Max
Dr. Jones or Mr. Jones.
Yeah. Mr. Jones and me.
But you just draw out Max.
Yeah.
In a real.
Maxie Jones.
We could turn around and money in, money out. The cost would be
total
very
money in,
minuscule.
money out for us.
Yeah.
By the way, Aqua, I think, is coming to River Cree. Saw that press release. River Cree, of course, the sponsor of our afternoon inboxes right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. And I think I saw the press release yesterday for Aqua.
I think Alan Jackson's going to River Cree, too.
It's
the real Alan Jackson.
It's your fake Alan Jackson again, buddy.
Are you
pulling her leg right now?
He's sure it's the real one.
I thought I saw something, Alan Jackson. I got tagged. Alan Jackson's going to River Cree.
No, it's the Alan Jackson experience.
It's the guy at the football game.
It's the guy that you thought was the real Alan Jackson at the football game, Trev. Alan Jackson himself isn't coming to the River Cree. It's the Alan Jackson experience. I can't believe that guy got you twice.
Do you think the guy
now.
you met is 66 years old?
You got your photo with him.
I know you're still sitting here.
Looked, like in terms of impersonators go, or like, he brings it.
My buddy is still convinced that was Alan
He
Jackson.
doesn't. I mean,
and every day,
it's pretty close.
Or I should say, every time he calls me, he's like, "Man, I still can't believe I met Alan Jackson." And I don't want to crush his dreams.
You're letting him continue to think that he doesn't.
I'm just like, he's like, I remember taking the photo with him, and I sent it to my brother, and he was like, "This is the craziest thing ever."
I think I still have that one in. I'll try to find it here. He's a really nice guy.
The Alan Jackson, it's the Alan Jackson experience.
Yes.
Yeah. Trev, I love you.
Jimi Hendrix.
I love you, Trev. Like, Alan Jackson. Like, you turn on your mic and you're like, also, Alan Jackson's coming there.
I thought I saw. I thought I read something.
It's the Alan Jackson experience, April 18th. And then Aqua's going to be rolling in as well. All right, we need... There it is. Like,
that's 66 years old.
Yeah, but like, this guy does not look... He's got a mustache and long hair.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on a scale of 1 to 10, and 6'10", being the real Alan Jackson. The guy's like a 7.
It's a good body double.
Yeah.
Yeah, stunt double.
He's thicker than Alan Jackson ever was.
Much thicker.
That face is way thicker than Alan Jackson's face ever was.
And he was just walking around on his own. Like nobody was paying him any sort of attention.
Alan Jackson always comes and hangs. Look, the Elks tailgate has got so good that Alan Jackson just flies in and goes and walks around it.
Well, we had to move our tailgate because his bus was in the way.
Oh, yeah.
That was the experience.
Damn
bus.
Alan Jackson experience. Unbelievable. Anyways, come to River Cree April 18th. And he sounds good. But I love the fact that he keeps tricking Trev into thinking he's a real Alan Jackson. All right, if you are watching on YouTube, smash the thumbs up. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, please send the link to EST to all of your friends. And hopefully they can join in on the fun as well. Maybe they'd like to win gift certificates to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. Am I right? Who wants that today? Who wants to win the gift certificate? Text Trev right now. 780-218-9999. You can be whoever you want when you text Trev. He'll buy into it. 780-218-9999. If you want to play kind of easy trivia today, gift certificate to Mr. Mike's is up for grabs. Come and get that bad boy. And hey, we need some questions for 3 questions too many. Oilers, Hardo, deadline questions, non-sports questions. It's the day of the year questions. Doesn't matter to us. Send that you want to. Somebody ask us some Laker, Luka, and LeBron questions. Eh? Whatever the question is, send it now to 780-218-9999. We need 3 of them. Let's get to a sports update right now for Windsor Plywood Leduc with Lieutenant Eric.
Oilers returning home and getting spanked by the Ducks. 6-2 your final last night. Leon Draisaitl would open the scoring with his league-leading 45th. Kelvin Pickard, though, allowing 4 goals on 11 shots. He was yanked after 1. Edmonton 3-7 in its last 10. Back in action tomorrow night when they welcome in the Canadiens, who have won 5 straight. Off the ice this morning, Columbus have signed forward Matthew Olivier to a 6-year, $18 million extension. 12 goals and 21 points in 61 games for Olivier this season, while collecting 113 PIMs. Other scores from last night saw the Flames snap a 3-game slide, 6-3 over the Flyers. Wild would hold off Seattle 4-3. Thomas Harley scored with 5 seconds remaining in regulation, lifting Dallas over Jersey 4-3, and the Winnipeg have now dropped 3 straight, following a 3-2 loss to the Islanders. Games around the league tonight. Vegas hosts Toronto. Washington visit the Rangers. The Blackhawks are at home to Ottawa. Anaheim back on the ice in Vancouver, and the Kings put their stellar home record on the line up against the St. Louis Blues. WHL action will see the Oil Kings kick off a 5-game homestand tonight against Brandon. The Oil Kings a point back of Brandon for 5th in the East. LeBron James, the first player in NBA history to score 50,000 combined points in both the regular and postseason, as the Lakers would smash the Pelicans 136-115. Cavaliers, meanwhile, they've won 11 straight, 139-117 over the Bulls, and the Raptors getting past the Magic 114-113. 8 games around the association tonight, as the Cavs aim for their 12th straight win at home to the Heat, while the West leading Thunder visit Memphis. And over to the Briar, Kevin Cooey 2-3. He'll take on Brad Gushue later this morning in New Brunswick tonight, while Brad Jacobs enters play 5-0 today. He'll take on Ontario this afternoon. A sports update brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since 1993. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc.
Pin strap. Pin strap. Pin strap. The weirdest month is upon it. Charge. Charlie the Penguin. Chin strap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chin strap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chin strap Penguin. I remember my first toy penguin. Hello. Oh, my name is Hello. Oh, my name is Charlie the Chin strap Penguin. Just because I'm a chin strap penguin. The chin strap is an aphrodisiac. The chin strap is an aphrodisiac. Confirm. Everything about it is perfect. There's good chinny and there's bad chinny. Yeah. I'm sure Ryan Rashad probably shaving in the hot tub as we speak. There you go. Beautiful. Charlie the Penguin. Chin strap penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chin strap penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chin strap penguin. Sketchy animal mascot. Charlie the Chin Strap Penguin. That's Charge mascot. I love that penguin. The animal world. Happy Charge, everyone. Help us end the stigma.
Hey now, throw a chin strap. Charlie the Penguin, chin strap penguin. Charlie the Penguin, chin strap penguin. Charlie the Penguin, chin strap penguin. Charge, Charlie the Penguin, chin strap penguin. That is Charlie the Penguin remix from Jaunty and Victoria.
The chin strap penguin.
Coming out of nowhere. So that's good stuff. Nielson Show brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev, where they will try to get you the best interest rate, best trade-in value, and make it easy on you. If you're looking for a new vehicle, they got 0% financing for up to 72 months on Silverado custom and custom trail bosses, and that Silverado built right here in Canada. That's where you want to get your hands on right now. It is Truck Month at South Fort Chevrolet. www.southfortchev.com. Big slam nasty to the
very good
Paris Jewelers inbox today, and also over on the nasty chat, I guess. But he knows, he's got a good one when he comes in there and lays this on us. Maybe the team on the ice isn't actually the Oilers, but the Edmonton Oilers experience. Right? You think you're going to watch the Oilers, and at times they kind of look like the Oilers.
Very
and
convincing.
You get lost in it for a moment,
yeah.
But then you're like, wait, this isn't the real Alan Jackson. And that's how it that's how it works. If you have any questions for 3 questions too many, 780. You know what, Trev? If you put on a cowboy hat and long hair and dyed your mustache blonde,
yeah,
you would probably look more like Alan Jackson than the Alan Jackson Experience guy. I think you pull it off.
I don't believe that.
I think you could. You got that long, wide mustache, right?
Yeah,
I think you could probably
just
do
blonde
it.
hair. Okay, I'll dye my hair.
Hey, we need your questions for 3 questions too many. Submit those right now, and then we'll give you answers in just a matter of minutes. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Anything goes on 3 questions too many. And we got a few coming in here. Let me make notes of them, and we'll try to get to those. Oh, we will get to those. Are we going to play kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's? Are you ready to stake your claim? Head to Mr. Mike's for a 2-course steak dinner for just $39.99. Start with an Emperor Caesar salad or the rustic onion soup, and then enjoy their tender 7-ounce sirloin steak, just a sizzling, and béarnaise butter plus garlic mashed potatoes loaded with savory toppings. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casually at Mr. Mike's. All right, who's playing today, Trev? Who do we have today? Who's the lucky individual?
Curtis.
Curtis is going to play today.
Hey, Kurt.
Needs to get 3 out of 5 correct. Get us a little club beat loop. Get himself that gift certificate to Mr. Mike's. I saw Michael texted in yesterday, said he was at Mr. Mike's having his gift certificate that he came in to pick up the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really
Michael's
enjoying
a
that.
hit. Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Michael. Rusty Shackelford. YTT went down yonder on the North Saskatchewan. Do you know Alan Jackson music at all?
Well,
you know Chattahoochee.
I know all the songs he was playing.
Did you know he's a huge pervert?
Oh, no, I did not know
You
that.
got to listen to that episode of Achy Breaky podcast. Alan Jackson's a major pervert.
Oh, okay. I remember hearing I was here when you guys recorded that
Yeah,
episode.
we did that one, yeah.
It's an old thing we used to do. We don't do it anymore, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
We'd like to bring it back.
Would we?
I would. Just busy, man. I'd like to find that time.
So would a lot of nasties. I see the text every day.
Yeah.
Rusty Shackelford is...
No, I'm going to stop doing Lock Shop and Oil Stream and 2 Guys, and we'll just do Achy Breaky every day. Ooh, live. It just randomly pops
Before
in.
Hello Hockey.
Before Hello Hockey on Saturday? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, or after.
Busy. All right. Who's playing today, you said?
This
Curtis.
is the Curtis experience.
All right, let's go to Curtis. Curtis, you ready to go, buddy?
Sure. Actually, I just have a question. I have never been to Mr. Mike's. Do they sell burgers and grapes, no cones?
Yes. Well done, sir. Yes. Well done. God, that was good. Curtis, wow. I don't even want to play now. I just want to give you the gift certificate. Yeah. Here we go. Trev will start the ticker out. Trev's over there going, I don't get it. Oh, Trev. All right, here we go. Trev will start the ticker out to read the first question. How many goals did the Oilers allow last night?
6.
How many goalies played for the Oilers last night?
9.
Which former Oiler scored for the Ducks last night? Which league has their trade deadline this Friday?
NHL.
Who did the Oilers trade for yesterday?
Frederic,
Boom.
Jones, and Hauser.
Oh, I nailed it. No. Not all of them. No. Oh, my God. Damn it, Shake. Stop it.
They are going to remember that AM radio is a viable and modern source for news and entertainment.
Totally.
People don't listen to AM like they used to. Seems like it's more about FM and color TV.
That's stupid.
It sure is, Kevin.
I'm stoked. You stoked?
I'm stoked.
Just
I'm
stoked.
stoked. You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
I love this guy. He's trying so hard. First text in ever.
Yeah.
Can I play kind of easy trivia? Please. I've never done it. Or tomorrow? Question mark. You know what, man? Text in tomorrow. Throw your name on it.
Yeah.
And then, maybe Trev picks you. Maybe Trev picks you. 780-218-9999. Lots of good questions rolling in here for 3 questions too many. So we'll definitely get to those as well. El Presidente has rattled that Macramala's on vacation this week. He says, how can he take a vacation? Doesn't he know I look forward to his weekly hits?
Tweet that at him.
Last week, Macramala had some work stuff. Then this week, he's on vacation.
Aruba.
Next week, he should be back. Oh, yeah, he's at Aruba. All right, let's get into 3 questions too many today. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment?
3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where it's actually been a fake Mitch Lewicki all along. Park Mazda, your dealer for life. He quit 10 years ago.
It's just a fake
and moved
Mitch
down
Lewicki.
to Aruba. And it's just been a throw.
It.
And everybody thinks it's Mitch.
Trev's still going out there buying cars from him. There's no idea.
Trev's friend.
Yeah, Trev's friend. Yeah. And Trev, I love that you can't.
Don't.
You got to tell your friend who's not the real.
Let him live the dream. Why not? It's an innocent thing. He sat on Santa's lap.
Well, he is convinced that it is him, and he called his brother right after.
And he was with you and met him in person?
Yes. And he told me,
geez.
I was like,
okay, well, don't I mean, if he's not smart enough to figure that out, then don't tell him.
I said every time, but probably every other time he brings it up, he's like, and I still can't remember. I can't believe the last time we hung out, we met Alan Jackson. And I was like, yes, I also can't believe that.
Yes. Just let him have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's innocent.
And he has the photo, and he sends me it almost regular, like every day. I swear. So I'm not going to crush him like you guys crush me.
Trev, you beauty. Waddy and Cloverdale, not today, man. Not today. Waddy and Cloverdale text in and says, last night I watched Shane LeChant score a beauty on the plays of the month. 6'5", 218-pound captain at Boston University. Is it safe to assume this is a case of an American who doesn't want to sign with the Oilers? Apparently, he wasn't going to sign. But I thought everybody wanted to sign here now. I thought this was a big thing.
Look, and it's a cup window. It doesn't matter what's in the cupboard, right?
I guess Shane LeChant doesn't care about cups.
His daddy's a devil.
Today. Yeah, there you go. All right, we got that's good coming up for the Italian Center as well. We're going to be diving into lasagna on Friday, buddy. It's lasagna month.
I am enthused.
Well, I'm picking it up tomorrow afternoon. They're going to give us I get it. Yeah, because it's your Instagram. We're going to get some garlic bread too. And Friday morning, after whatever it is against the Habs, whatever happens, we're going to be having lasagna and garlic bread on the show before a beer of the week.
Beer of the week? You kidding me?
Don't take Friday off, everybody.
Wow. Yeah, that's the best day ever.
That's going to be a really good day. All right, let's get into your questions for 3 questions too many today. Let me see. I wrote down the names of guys who texted in their questions.
Sparks says Aruba is a weird slang for orgy.
Actually, I think if you rework the words, the letters, you might be able to find it.
Yeah.
All right, Kid Thunder. We said anything goes for 3 questions too many. Here's Kid Thunder's question. Question for 3 questions too many, guys. After being embarrassed by the Ducks, what type of bird would you be? I'd be Birdie McBird. I flew headfirst into the window at the old station after watching that game.
He'd sacrifice his life.
Time to sacrifice.
I'd break my neck first.
Let me see if I can bring that up. I'll take a peek at it. What type of bird would you like to be?
Are we talking
Rick?
like brand of bird or like a famous character bird, like a Daffy Duck?
I mean,
or whatever,
this kind of relates back around to the draft of birds.
Yes.
If you could be any bird, person, or thing or animal that would be available in a bird draft, what bird would you be?
I think it'd be cool to be like a parrot or a cockatoo, like the ones that kind of mimic humans.
That can talk a little
you're
bit.
coming like half human, half bird, right?
Scary little bugger.
Yeah. But then you spend your entire life in a cage, which a hummingbird would be rather fun.
What a story this has been. What a game for Phil Kessel. And I mean, I had a hard time liking the guy when he was here.
That was a bird killing itself by flying into our window.
Is that JT?
Well, Jamie Thomas was on the show.
Of course.
Actually, what was Jamie talking about? Actually?
What a story this has been. What a game for Phil Kessel. And I mean, I had a hard time liking the guy when he was here.
Of course. What a story this has been. What a game for Phil Kessel. Bird flies into window.
Hell of a clip.
Yeah. That was the Oilers last night. That's funny. Great Ass Fraser says Big Bird. I would be a bald eagle, man. I think bald eagles call shots. Like, that's a boss. That is a boss bird. So I think I would go with bald eagle or Larry Bird. One or the other, I can't decide.
A turkey vulture. What are the one that's all over the hornbill or whatever? That one that walks around clicking its bill and it's got the weird look. You know the one on the socials?
Just terrifying.
Yeah. You know the one. It's walking around like
looks fake.
Yeah.
But it's real.
Eyes close
it
together.
Exists,
Yeah.
and it makes the scariest sound you'd ever hear.
Or whatever.
Could you imagine if you're in the jungle and all of a sudden at nighttime you hear that sound?
Swallow you whole.
I don't hunt. I've never shot and killed an animal, but I think I could shoot and kill birds. I hate birds.
It's fun.
I think I could shoot and kill them.
Even penguins?
Well, not Charlie. Not Charlie, the chin-strap penguin.
Is the Boston accent?
Charlie.
Close your ears, Charlie.
Dusty, you would shoot me? I would not shoot you, Charlie. That's right, you wouldn't shoot me because I'm Charlie, the chin-strap penguin.
What about an ostrich? Those things are...
Well, I mean, what's up with the burying your head in dirt?
Yeah, but they're fast.
I mean, figure it out.
Yeah.
They're the closest thing to a dinosaur, I think, on this planet.
Yeah.
Outside of reptiles.
Gallimimus. Emu as well, maybe.
I'd pick, just quickly, the peregrine falcon. Fastest recorded speed by any animal in the world.
They're the ones that do the dive bomb, right? Or whatever
That's crazy.
Over 100 miles an hour, something like that.
That would be a good one, too, to go that fast.
I would have... The bald eagle is my first choice.
Would you rather have the career and life of Larry Bird or be able to fly?
Fly.
Flying is...
Easy.
I mean, Larry Bird had a pretty good career, though, boys. Like, you're talking titles.
I mean, there's so many. Everyone in the world, everyone has a great career, but nobody can fly.
I guess that would be
easy.
You're right. I guess that would be the easy answer.
Great Ass Fraser says dress up as Randy Johnson for the Bird draft.
Ah, that would be good. That'd be good. He also kind of looks like Alan Jackson.
I've never seen the two in the same room.
All right, let's go to Raider Jesse. He has a question. Trev, you're going to have to answer this one. Guys, I have a question. My friend wants to go try the Hot Wing Challenge at Hudson's, and they go up to 1.2 M Scovilles. I have tried to bomb a Mad Dog 357, but nothing in the million range. Should I do it? I would suggest no, man. Like, this stuff can damage you somewhat significantly. I don't know if you need to take it to that level. Like, what are you trying to prove at that point?
I went in last Wednesday and I walked into one of those competitions as it was going on. Was
anybody
hilarious.
puking?
Not that I saw.
Free wings for a year, though.
You did get free wings for a year,
and you couldn't enjoy them.
Only on Wednesdays.
It was only on Wednesdays.
I found out. Yeah, Raider Jesse. So I've said it before. I'll say it again. It depends how everyone's different. Everyone handles this. Like I'm very okay with hot food. I love hot food. I'm always drenching in Frank's Red, Sriracha, like just so much. It's obnoxious how much I put on. And so I was pretty cocky. I was feeling pretty good about myself. But I signed a waiver. I did this. The ambulance was called the night of. Someone was freaking out. Someone was puking in the washroom. I'm in there. I look at my face. I've got chemical burns all over my hands. They're like just red. I've got chemical burns all over my lips. And it was like that for about a week. The next day was the worst. Probably, one of the worst days of my life in regards like how I felt. Like I won't go too much into details. You know what I'm getting at. It was the worst. It was terrible. I did it with my buddy. He actually was okay though. So It's weird. It affects everyone differently. Long story short, 3 months later, I'm still having significant stomach issues. I had to get a colonoscopy, a camera up my butt, and a camera down my throat. And I always say not in that order. And I got the photos and they said, like, what did you do? Like, what happened? Like, look at this. The lining of your stomach is burnt. It's so bad. And they show me and I'm like, whoa, like it is really bad. And so it absolutely destroyed me. I wouldn't recommend it. Everyone's different though, so that's what I'll say.
There you go.
Yeah, Corey B says, I did it last year, you'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
Oh, excellent. Corey B's
never mind. Okay, I will say
out this whole story. And Corey B's like, I was okay.
I will say though, they have like toned it down a lot from when I.
Oh, they have.
They have, yes, because I've spoken to Adam. He's at Hudson's on Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
And I told him this story, and he was like, "Oh no, like we've actually like all over Canada, they brought it down quite a bit since when I did it in 2018." I think.
Okay.
Which
I mean, if you have to sign a waiver to eat something, I'm not eating that thing. I just don't think I do that. Big Slam Nasty in the Nasty chat. Where, by the way, hammer the thumbs up for us today, eh? Well, I think we've done a pretty good job turning the tide, the mood of the city this morning. At least on our show.
What game?
Yeah, exactly.
We get the Habs in town tomorrow, baby.
If you just ignore it, it never happened.
All Canadian clash.
A buddy did it at Hooters way back when and went and took a leak without washing his hands. You ever seen a grown man cry? Oh, boy. That's a tough one. Let's get to question number 3. Rams fan is in. Says, guys, what's the likelihood of a player hitting 50,000 points in the NBA again? It's got to be low, right? You need to be incredibly dominant for a long time and have some seriously good health along the way.
And good teammates as well.
You have to, you have to be in some good spots.
Good spots.
So you have to average like 25 points a game for 22 years. That's not going to be easy for a lot of people. Like LeBron hit 50,000 last night. Nobody else is over 45,000. So the odds of it happening again, I would say pretty good it doesn't happen again. It's remarkable. It's insane. He had 34 points last night, and Luka was unbelievable. Like the Lakers look. I'm trying to temper my expectations.
Present and the future.
Like this Luka trade, they look. And they were missing 2 stars. You know what? Let's dive into that's a good. Let's might as well transition here very briefly. I was trying to think of a that's good from the hockey game last night, but I couldn't find one. It was that tough. That's good. Brought to you by Italian Center, where on Friday we will be diving into the lasagna, which is a Nielson family favorite.
Yeah,
from there. I mean, it's absolutely delicious. Swing on in, pick up lasagna, go home. Mwah. Bada bing, bada boom. You love it at all of the Italian Center locations. So Friday morning, we're going to be diving into some lasagna and some garlic bread, and it should be really good. Anyway, the Lakers are 17-3 in their last 20.
Mm-hmm.
Luka last night became just the 4th Laker ever to have 30 points. And you know how many great players have played for the Lakers? He's just the 4th player ever to have 30 points and 15 assists in a game. It took him 9 Lakers games to join that exclusive club. Others in the group, Magic Johnson, the logo, Jerry West, and of course, LeBron James would have done that. And now Luke has done it got it done in 9 games. Having Luka or LeBron on the floor the entire time is almost a cheat code. Like if you're a team and you're like, man, we got to get LeBron off the floor. Oh, good, he's going for a rest. And Luka's the guy who's checking in. You're like, damn it. Like there's no letdown. And they were missing 2 starters last night. And the Pelicans are not good, but they've been beating everybody for the last 20 games. Luka's played 9 of them. They're really good. It's fun. I don't have many things I fanboy over. The Detroit Lions.
That's good.
And LeBron and the Lakers. And I got some pretty high expectations for this team heading into the playoffs, man. Absolutely. Extremely impressive. And fun to watch. Like Luke and LeBron are just driving and kicking to guys with wide open looks. And Vanderbilt's been great. And Dorian Finney-Smith has been great. And they didn't have Austin Reeves or Hachimura last night. I know nobody cares about this stuff. But I'm telling you, they're fun to watch play basketball. And Luka's a freak. I cannot believe the Dallas Mavericks traded that guy because he liked to drink beer and have one of those hookah things. Like,
2 organizations. Again, present and future, you're set up as a Lakers fan. Present and future as a Mavs fan. TBD.
Yeah, it's insane that a team managed to transition to the next big thing mid-season like this. Everybody involved with the Mavs decision-making should be fired. The entire group.
As Deskra says, NBA is scripted.
Of course. What do you got, Trev?
After last night's game, Luka became the second fastest Laker to record 150 points, 50 rebounds, and 50 assists.
Just like that.
Yeah.
To say who number one was it Magic or was it LeBron?
LBJ.
Yeah, of course. The greatest to ever do it, man. It's insane. Peter's in and says, Luka, Reeves, and Connect. All-time white guy lineup. Yeah, they need to go out and bring back Alex Caruso.
Yep.
And you're really putting something nice together there.
H.E. Pennypacker says, I think Reed Wilkins has already hit 50,000 at the office.
Yesterday's dunk went off my head.
I can't believe that. The trajectory was wild.
Trev bounced it off my head right into Reed's hand.
Right
and it was perfectly edited and
one
cut.
take.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. Bones is in and says, what will happen first? Marshall gets his learner's license or the Lakers win a title?
It's a great question. Both could happen this year.
It's a good question. To be honest with you, I think the Lakers might win a title before Marshall gets his learner's permit in 4 years. All right, lots of good text messages continue to roll in. We'll get to a few of those as we work our way through the show today. Somebody just texted in a link to, we might have to have some fun with this because it is a Wednesday. We've been trying to move past the Oilers absolutely crapping the bed
Nothing else to talk
night.
about, yeah.
Yeah, so, we'll get to a little bit of this.
Owen loves his mama.
Hey, we might have a little bit of a remix coming up next.
Why not?
Little Wednesday remix. That's a good too. At the Italian Center. We are 48 hours away. A deadline day lasagna? Are you kidding me? Deadline day lasagna. Our coverage on Friday will be as follows. Nielson Show, Hangout, 2-hour special deadline oil stream from 11 until 1, probably 1:10ish. Make sure we don't miss anything. And then into EST afternoons and then the Reed Wilkins Show. But myself, Tom, we're going to have Reed pop in. We're going to have Hernan pop in. Gage will probably pop in for a bit on that oil stream deadline special. So make sure you have plans to be with us on Friday. Hey, have plans to be with us every day, but make sure you're here on Friday with the deadline looming. Jodes has the date on it. There it is. Aqua, September 9th at the River Cree.
Wow.
Yeah. I had an Aqua CD, not going to lie.
Yeah,
that one was good.
That was a huge CD.
That was a huge CD.
Yeah.
That was a big one. That one, I think I still have it in my CD case at home. All right, we have a sports update right now for Century Casino, where every day is game day. And then Greg Wyshynski is going to join us on the other side. Plus the weekly rankings of power. Plus the Marmot Basin Snow Report. And, of course, the wrap for William Huff, all still coming up in the next 30 minutes. We'll see what Wyshynski thinks about what's going on here in Edmonton. And will Trent Frederic get the bottom six going for this team? Because they could desperately use that right now. Let's get the sports update with LTE. Greg Wyshynski from ESPN on the other side. If you're watching on YouTube today, 35 likes away from hitting 300. So hammer that thumbs up for us. That would be 25 likes away. Much appreciated. Let's keep that going.
Oilers back on the ice tomorrow night when they host the high-flying Montreal Canadiens. Edmonton 3-7 in their last 10 following last night's 6-2 loss to the Ducks. Other action from last night, Flames snapping a 3-game slide with a 6-3 win over Philly, while the Jets have dropped 3 straight following a 3-2 loss to the Islanders. Off the ice this morning, Columbus signing forward Matthew Olivier to a 6-year, $18 million extension. 12 goals and 21 points in 61 games this season for Olivier, while collecting 113 PIMs. Action tonight will see the Kings at home to the Blues, Ducks back on the ice in Vancouver. Chicago host Ottawa, the Rangers at home to the Caps, while the Maple Leafs are in Vegas to take on the Golden Knights. The Edmonton Oil Kings are back home to kick off a 5-game homestand tonight against the Brandon Wheat Kings. Oil Kings a point back of Brandon for 5th in the Eastern Conference. Over to the NBA, where the Cavaliers have now won 11 in a row following a 139-117 victory over the Bulls. Luka Doncic and LeBron James, meanwhile, combining for 64 points as the Lakers would smash the Pelicans 136-115. 8 games around the NBA. Tonight, Cavs look to make it 12 straight. They host the Heat. And West leading OKC visit Memphis. Over to the Briar, Kevin Cooey 2-3 entering play this morning. He's up against Brad Gushew's 5-0 rink this morning and will take on New Brunswick tonight. Brad Jacobs, meanwhile, 5-0, faces Ontario this afternoon. Sports Update brought to you by and presented by Centric Casino Sports Bar Lounge. With wall-to-wall TVs, daily food and drink specials, it is the place to be for every Oilers game. Every day is game day at Centric Casino Sports Bar Lounge.
You all of a sudden. Get me a soda with some ice in it. The unsaltiness makes me shout. Get off your fat little ass or I'll break it for you. Get away from me, you horse's ass! Who the hell are you all of a sudden? Who the hell are you all of a sudden? Stop it, damn it! Stop it, damn it! Stop it, damn it! Stop it, damn it!
8:32, it is the Nielson Show on a Wednesday. What's going on, everybody? Thank you very much for being here today. Dusty and Lieutenant Eric with you.
That bad with the drops.
It's a good beat.
Really did it.
Man, we got a lot to go on for sound of the. Well, I guess Charlie the Chinstrap Penguins had to be sound of the day. But I mean, that can compete any other Wednesday.
Yeah.
Any other Wednesday. Nielsen Show brought to you by South Ford Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. It's truck month at South Ford Chevrolet. If you're looking for a new ride, they will get you into the one that you need. 0% financing up to 72 months on Silverado Customs and Custom Trail Bosses right now. No big deal. Pretty good deal. Text of the day today will win that gift certificate to A&W as well. We're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio today. Lieutenant Eric's weekly rankings of power still to come. Marmot Basin Snow Report, the wrap for William Hupp. But Greg Wyshynski, maybe he's got all the answers to what ails the Edmonton Oilers right now. Eh? Because they suck the big one right now. And we'll see what ends up happening between now and the deadline. Let's bring in Greg Wyshynski from ESPN. Greg, why are the Oilers so brutal right now? Can you help us out here? What's going on?
Yeah, because they don't have a healthy Trent Frederic yet, obviously. That's going to solve everything.
That's
Don't
right.
You think? I
think so.
He's back in the lineup. I actually like that move for them. One, because, I mean, obviously they have a lot of salary cap considerations at the moment, thanks to Mr. Evander Kane. But I mean, I always like at the trade deadline when guys get traded and, you know, we're all tangentially familiar with the name Trent Frederic. And then it's like you have all these boxes and you're like, oh, wait, he kills penalties. He's a big body who throws the body down the lineup. He had a good offensive season at some point in the last 3 years. And then you're like, oh, it makes total sense why the Oilers would need this guy, provided that he's healthy. So they gave up a bit to get him, but I think if he's healthy, he could definitely be an asset to them, especially knowing what lies ahead, i.e. having to bang bodies with the Vegas Golden Knights for 7 games.
Yeah, and you know, you're right. Like, he provides something that they don't have a lot of. So hopefully he can be healthy and return to the lineup here, sooner rather than later, and they can get a good look at him and find out where he fits before the playoffs. Losing last, look, Anaheim had been better lately. I mean, this is not a dead last Anaheim Ducks team, but still they spanked the Oilers last night. It really wasn't close. 4-1 at the end of the first period. And again, after the game last night, Knobloch described this group as fragile, a fragile team right now. And I mean, I think most of this market is having a hard time buying the fragile thing when this team's been through a lot the last couple of years. Like, how do you fall apart after a 2-1 goal against the Ducks on March 4th? Like, it just seems strange to me that that's how this team is being described right now.
Well, it is strange because, one, he saw them at their most fragile last season after the first 12 games of the season, right? Like, so the baseline is already been established as far as what's fragile, and I don't think this is it. And the second thing is, I mean, they're obviously going to be a playoff team, right? So what happens in March against the Ducks, while you're not really, all that pleased with the loss or how they're playing, I mean, they essentially know they just have to be in it to win it. And so Yeah. Do they want to be playing better? Sure. But if it's about fragile psyches after a regular season game, I mean, they know where their eyes should be, and it's on the prize that they came one win away from winning last year.
I know no one wants to hear it, and maybe it's too soon to the murder that happened last night down at Ice District. But Ducks beating the Oilers 5-3 December 29, Edmonton 3-2 over them January 3rd. They're quickly around the Christmas break, and then last night, like I know we say Ducks and we kind of snicker and it's the Ducks and the Ducks. Is it about time that we start kind of somewhat taking this team more seriously than we have been over the past little while?
No, they're still fundamentally bad.
Okay.
I don't think that could be stressed enough, is that they're still a fundamentally bad hockey team that for the most part this season has been propped up by really good goaltending. Some of that is youth. Some of that is system. Some of that is simply not getting enough out of their youth, where I think Greg Cronin has really been disadvantageous to that franchise, is the way that some of those young players have atrophied under his leadership. So they, are they better than the Sharks? Yeah. Is this like a slow push towards the playoff bubble in the Western Conference? Interesting and ultimately probably good for their younger players. Sure. Are they still a fundamentally bad hockey team? Without question, they're a fundamentally bad hockey team.
Greg Wyshynski with us. The trade deadline is just over 48 hours away. You had the minutes actually on it, Rick. What was it? How many minutes was it until the deadline? 3,240 something? Or?
Well, 188,564 seconds.
We're counting down. They got to find a defenseman. But no, you mentioned his name earlier, and like Evander Kane's current situation, and it's a bit frustrating here in Edmonton because a lot of other teams are just like, that guy will be back in the playoffs. That guy will be back in the playoffs. That guy will be back in the playoffs. And we're sitting here at Edmonton going, we're not sure what the Oilers are going to have for cap space because Evander Kane might want to play later on in the regular season. You have a better grasp on the rest of the league than we do. Does this happen in other markets? Like, are there other markets where people just don't go, don't worry, they'll be back in the playoffs. Don't worry about it. Like, are there other markets where you're like, I don't know when this guy's going to be back, and we don't know how much money we have to spend at the deadline?
Lieutenant Eric, did you do that minutes thing by memory, or are you looking at like an app?
All up here, Gregory.
He's Rain Man of deadline.
52.3 hours. 52.3 hours if you want to kind of.
I'm gonna drop a box of matches and see how quickly he can count them. Here's the thing. Is anyone the least bit surprised that Evander Kane is having trouble following the rules or following the edicts of his team? I mean, that's why he's an Oiler. They literally canceled his contract in San Jose because he couldn't follow the rules that the team laid out, and in one way, the league laid out. So the idea that, if you're asking me if this happens in other markets, of course it doesn't. Matthew Tkachuk is not going to be banging on Bill Zito's door to be like, hey, buddy, I want to play in game 82. Everybody kind of knows what the situation is. Everyone kind of knows what they have to do if they're on LTIR in order to make sure that their teams can maximize their cap space. And so, no, I don't think there's been a situation that I can remember, at least maybe one or two at the very least, where an agent has maybe made some stink about it.
Yeah, but nothing jumps off the page, right? Like, there's nothing you're like, this reminds me of this.
Come back and play, having been on LTIR most of the season. Again, the ultimate goal here is to maximize cap space in order to win a cup. And the bottom line for the Oilers right now is that Evander Kane coming back to play in the next month or not coming back to play in the next month is the difference between the ability to trade for a goaltender and the ability to run it back with the same duo that they had last year. And God bless Stuart Skinner. I'm a believer for at least maybe like 2 weeks a year. And luckily for the Oilers, those 2 weeks came at a critical time last year. But I need to see something else in that tandem to have the utmost confidence in the Oilers this postseason, because you're asking a lot of the. I mean, I know that Stan Bowman recently made the Corey Crawford comparison. I mean, I think that's doing a disservice to Corey Crawford, if we're being honest, because Skinner. I mean, look, you just don't want him to lose you a game, and maybe that's where the bar is set. But I'd feel a hell of a lot more confident about the Oilers getting back to play for the Cup if there was someone else there, maybe a cut above him that you could throw into a tandem.
Which team do you think steals the show and the spotlight on Friday? Either by being a seller or a buyer.
Vegas. Why are we even having this discussion? No one
Vegas
knows what they're
again.
going to do.
Every
but
year.
We all know they're going to do something. I will note that both Braden Shen and Ivan Provorov were members of the Brandon Wheat Kings for your Kelly McCrimmon conspiracy theorists out there.
Yeah.
As far as, his plan to acquire everyone that's tangentially related to that junior hockey franchise that he owned. They're the team that we're all wondering about. We know Florida will add something else with the LTIR space they have. We know the Maple Leafs will add a center. I'm pretty sure the Devils have to add a center now if they're gonna even have a prayer of making the playoffs with Hughes on the shelf. We know that Colorado will probably add something, and Dallas will add a defenseman. But the thing we don't know is what Vegas is going to do, and that's what's always exciting about them this time of year. I mean, we all remember, Bobby McKenzie shutting off the blender for 2 seconds and screaming over, "Hey guys, hurry over to the Golden Knights!" Right back to the margaritas. And so that's the team that we're all wondering about, because they're always very cagey and they're always very mysterious. And then when the deadline ends, you're like, oh, they traded for Crosby. So it's like, that's the one you're wondering about.
I asked Dreger too earlier in the week, but what do you think about the Kings? Any smoke around there? Just because talking about the neighbors of the Oilers, and you've already went off the Golden Knights, but how active do you see the Kings being?
I think they have to be, because they know that their lot in life is to play the Oilers again. And they can't beat them in the playoffs. And so I had heard from a couple of people. I was at the Stadium Series over the weekend talking to just some folks, and I don't know if this is NHL echo chamber or whatever, but I had heard the Kings had sort of let it be known to the Hurricanes, if Mikko Rantanen gets traded again, let us know. We'll help you out big time. And so they're kind of, I think, there. But they obviously know that they need to probably do something to put themselves over the top even more against an Edmonton team that they can't seem to beat in the playoffs. It's just a matter of what that looks like and what's available and how aggressive they want to be. But as it stands, like, I don't think they're beating the Oilers. Do you?
Well,
not on the road.
If it's the Oilers for the last month, I mean, we'll have to see what happens there. All I can think about is like the two names that we just did. Like Rantanen goes to the Golden Knights, right? Is that not what? Like that's what ends up happening here, isn't it? Like it just seems like the most Golden Knights thing ever. Like
that would make the most sense. I mean, the ultimate funny thing would be if they traded him to Vancouver for Elias Pettersson. Like that'd be the funniest thing. That'd be like the full circle moment for all of this. Everyone asked me about Rantanen. Like, I still can't wrap my brain around the idea that they gave up that much for a negotiating window with a guy. Like, Carolina's got to win soon. Like, Burns is old. Orlov's a UFA. Like, they're not getting any younger in their core for a lot of the guys that have been there for years. They acquired Gensel to score the one goal that they can't seem to score in the playoffs to try to get over the hump and even play for the cup. They seem to be running back the same playbook with Rantanen. I do think there's a possibility he stays. I think his world got rocked in such a way that he doesn't want to commit 8 years to a place quite yet. But I mean, you still talk to people around the Hurricanes, and there's a non-zero possibility that he could be traded again, which to me is A, nuts, and B, makes you wonder how they really view their team if they're not going to keep him around for what could be a potential cup run in a conference that I think is wide open, and in a league that doesn't have one team that you're like, oh, just give them the cup already.
Greg, before we let you go, we got to get your thoughts on where in the all-time wrestling moments does Cena's heel turn rank for you?
Well, it's above the rocker splitting up, because obviously we all know Marty Jannetty jumped through that window, according to Bobby the Brain Heenan. He wasn't kicked. I think the problem with the Cena turn right now is twofold. One, everything The Rock did leading up to that moment made absolutely no sense to me. It was a bunch of gibberish and nonsense, and I still don't understand what "sell your soul to me, Cody Rhodes" means, or "give your soul to me." I don't understand any of it. The fact that I've forgiven a lot of it is a testament to how good the Cena turn was. But until we see how this plays out, it still has to be behind Hogan to the NWO, and it still has to be behind Andre turning on Hogan. But for the sheer shock of it, I would say it's probably third for me.
Where do you rank the finger poke of doom, though? I know you're mentioning Hogan and the NWO. I mean, that was a memorable scene.
It was memorable for the wrong reasons, though. Like that was when the worm. That was when it jumped the shark. Basically, was the finger poke of doom. There's other. I mean, Seth Rollins turning, The Rock going corporate. Like there's a Stone Cold embracing McMahon. Like there's a number of other moments that are in consideration. But this has been decades in the making, him turning heel, and my hope is that.
How do you think it plays out? Like that's what I want.
Here's what I hope it is. I hope it's a thing where he is like, I'm old. I needed Seth Rollins' help to win Elimination Chamber. I realized that I can't beat Cody on my own, so I am turning to the dark side and embracing the forces of evil in order to get me the championship that I'm chasing. Then what I'm hoping, and what has to probably happen, is that at some point in the next year, because he's going to retire at the end of the year, he turns on The Rock. He's like, F you, Rock, run! The crowd goes crazy, and then tries to win the belt at like SummerSlam or Survivor Series as a face against somebody who's then having already beaten Cody. That's kind of how I have to figure it's going to play out, because I can't imagine he's going to retire as a bad guy. It's John Cena.
There's no way.
Think how confused those Make-A-Wish kids are right now.
Yeah.
What do they think?
That's his thing, right? Like, my God. That's a tough look. Wyshynski, as always, buddy, we appreciate it. Enjoy the deadline, and we'll chat next week.
Anytime.
You know what? He laid out how he thinks it might go. I have no read on any of this stuff.
Yeah.
But how cool would it be if, goes through all of it, turns on The Rock, does what he needs to do, and then his final match is against The Rock. After, like, Cena, the final stand for Cena as a good guy is against The Rock, and that's how they go.
You should be a wrestling writer.
Feel free to use it.
That's a hell of a
TKO or whatever it is now.
Yeah.
Feel free to use it.
AEW could never.
I think that would be pretty cool, actually. I would watch it. I'd watch that one. All right, weekly rankings of power with Lieutenant. Where are you going on this one today? Look,
we're in the mood of. You had your rant at the start of the show. We sussed it out. We got the pus out.
Yeah.
Now it's time to take care of the wound.
Okay.
And I can't remember who the nasty was that suggested we ask Noodles what his favorite Seinfeld episode is.
Oh, no.
But I took that idea and I ran with it, baby.
Oh, boy.
Because, look, we broke down the game already. We've said what we were going to say. Now it's time for the shows. Well, the Hangout, Tommy's here. He'll get to it in the Hangout today. And as we go throughout the day, everybody will get their chance, the pound of flesh. But, yeah, let's just keep Habs tomorrow. Game days tomorrow. So, top best Seinfeld episodes of all time, according to me.
All right.
So you can play along as well. I'm probably going to miss a couple.
Number 10.
The Junk Mail with Frankie Merman. That's just because Noodles said it, and I would have never maybe thought of it. But Fragile Frankie Merman in the van, and then Kramer going through the thing with the post office and everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's very good. Frankie Merman was great.
The news is digging a hole in a park right now. Yeah. God. All right. Number 9.
The airport. Jerry and Elaine fly back to New York. Jerry travels on first class while Elaine is on coach.
Yeah, that was
Jerry's got to do all that. George and Kramer run into trouble while trying to arrive on time to pick up Jerry and Elaine at the airport. Kramer runs into his old, the betting buddy.
The betting buddy.
Owes him the money.
Yeah.
Gross bar, the bell tolls for the...
Number 8.
The Scofflaw, which doesn't make a lot of people's lists. It only makes mine because it's the one with John Lovitz.
Lovitz.
Looking good, Jack. He's got the earpiece and everything. Yeah. Kramer's got the eye patch on. He gets Newman out of that parking fiasco.
The Scofflaw, yeah. The White Whale.
The White Whale.
The White Whale.
Yeah, he's got the eye patch.
Number 7.
The Abstinence, which is probably higher on a lot of people's list. Abstinence allows George becomes the genius.
Yeah.
We did win the World Series. Yeah. Whatever many games, and he's got the trade
6
proposal.
games.
Lane becomes an idiot. Jerry gets bumped from career day as an old high school. Kramer, though, turns his apartment into that smoking lounge. Kramer, your face. You'll get old catcher's mitt,
Oh, God.
It's pipe night.
God, that was in that episode?
Jam-packed, right?
Jeez. Number 6.
The Jimmy.
The Jimmy.
You probably have this maybe at 1.
I like the Jimmy one.
The Jimmy, the sneakers, the Jimmy. It's Jimmy. He speaks of himself in the third
Jimmy
person.
likes Elaine.
Yeah. George is also blamed for the theft of Yankees sports equipment in that episode.
Number 5.
Bizarro Jerry.
Bizarro Jerry. That was a weird one, yeah.
Elaine's dating Bizarro Jerry. Jerry's dating Man Hands. Kramer gets his job at Brant Leland, where he's got the suitcase of the Ritz crackers. My baby takes the... And then George gets access to the forbidden city of supermodels. But it's that meat cutting plant or whatever. Yeah. So
the meat cutting plant.
That's a jam-packed episode, hey? Like, I love the Brant Leland job, though.
That was good. Number 4.
The boyfriend, Keith Hernandez.
That was a classic.
One of the best celeb cameos, I guess, maybe on the show.
That's the Magic Loogie.
Yes. Yeah. Also the birth of Vandalay Industries.
Oh, wow. That's when Vandalay Industries started.
But the JFK Magic Bullet from the right.
I like that one. All right, number 3.
Top 3, the chicken roaster. Kenny. Yeah. It's the wood that makes it good. The Kenny Rogers Roaster Shop. Jerry has to live in Kramer's. Kramer lives in Jerry's apartment and they become each other. And Jerry also freaked out by the wooden doll in Kramer's apartment. And yeah. So it's the Kenny Rogers Roaster thing. It's
number 2.
The Merv Griffin Show. Just brilliant. The set when they're all sitting out there.
The whole set. Oh, man.
You guys dated for a while. What was that like? Yeah.
All right, number 1.
The number 1 in the Seinfeld episode rankings is The Serenity Now.
Serenity Now.
Jerry opens up about his feelings. Lane's getting hit on by the Jews. Kramer gets a screen door, which is pretty funny. Yeah. He's sitting up there. And then George, I think the best part of that episode, helps his father sell computers with brawn.
Yeah. Serenity Now.
Watch all of them
Insanity
today.
later.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Oilers.
Maybe it's time to rewatch Seinfeld from 1 to however many there were.
Just
Yeah.
have a laugh, you know?
All right, there you go. That's Lieutenant Eric's weekly rankings of power. Let's get into the Marmot Basin snow report today. It's a Kelsey report.
So stoked. Like, winter's here. I'm stoked. You stoked?
I'm stoked.
Just so stoked.
Yes.
I mean, it came down last night, what, a good 5 inches?
Last night, I think so. Something like that, and a couple feet the day before.
We've got a 5-foot base with 5 inches of freshie on top.
Small trace of freshie overnight. 87 centimeter base right now, 204 centimeter season total. Lightning snowing this morning up at Marmot. Maybe some accumulation as the day progresses. -7 right now, mid-mountain. Forecast high of -6. Mix of sun and cloud today. All chairs are spinning today, and 21 runs were groomed overnight. Plus, first Coca-Cola live session this weekend. Head to the deck on the outside of the Caribou Cafeteria for some great live music. Local musician and ski instructor, Marie-Pierre Filippo Bergeron.
Real good.
Swag and prizes, fire pits, good vibe. Enjoy your lunch or refreshment outside with some great entertainment. That's Saturday, March 15th from 12 until 2 at skimarmot.com. All the details online. Changing 300. All right, boys, let's get into the wrap for William Huff. We got the hangout coming up. See, Jazz is in, ready to roll. Tommy Gazzola as well. Who else is in today? Belsey. Oh, it's Wednesday. I always forget it's Wednesday. Belsey will be in today as well. Yeah, so Belsey, Jazz, Tommy on the hangout. Lots of Oilers talk, obviously, after the game last night, the Trent Frederic trade, and a deadline looming in just over 48 hours. The wrap is for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours, there's one place to get it done. William Huff. They've been doing it since 1952. Visit their website, www.williamhuff.com. What did we learn on the show today, boys?
Matthew Olivier extended in Columbus. It's a 6-year, $18 million
How about
extension.
Olivier getting 6 years?
Yeah.
I mean, I like the guy, but 6 years, that's crazy.
He's their Trent Frederic.
Oh, man, that's nuts.
Yeah. 12 goals, 21 points, 113 PIMs, and 61 games this season.
I learned that Oilers ticket prices are already insane, but going up even more. 12% boost last year, 15% boost for next year. I had this text come in from a buddy today that says, "Good morning, Dusty. If the Oilers have 16 home playoff games this year, it'll cost me $30,700.
Even Tommy thought that was expensive.
Well, we heard today, somebody said they have their Loge table is $50,000 for the first round. Like, that is insane. Family, how does a family go to a hockey game? Like, how does a family, like, we go to one game a year. If this year only Marshall and I went. And that was still insanely expensive. That was OV, and we're in the lower bowl because OV's his guy. So it was a special treat. But I haven't taken my family to a game this year. Like, Tammy would never allow me to drop $1,000 to take the family to a hockey game. I don't know. I don't know how families do it. All right. We also learned that Jaunty brought another banger to the table today.
He can't be stopped.
Jaunty trying to make it back-to-back Estes for Song of the Year. He's already got some other ones in the mix, but a great response to the Charlie the Chinstrap Penguin remix, which will be your sound of the day today. Chinstrap. 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 Awareness Month is upon us. Charge. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. I remember my first toy penguin. Hello. Oh, my name is Hello. Oh, my name is Charlie the Chinstrap Penguin. Because I'm a Chinstrap Penguin. The chinstrap is an aphrodisiac. The chinstrap is an aphrodisiac. Confirm.
Everything about it is perfect.
There's good chinny and there's bad chinny. Yeah. I'm sure Ryan Rashad probably shaving in the hot tub as we speak. There you go. Beautiful. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. Sketchy animal mascot. Charlie the Chinstrap Penguin. That's a church mascot. I love that penguin.
The animal world.
Happy church, everyone. Help us end the stigma. Hey now, grow a chinstrap. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin. Chinstrap Penguin. Kevin Van Dossler over in the Nasty Chat says, I'm saying it. It's better than the Charge Anthem. Yeah, I mean, so now we've got that. We've got the Charge Anthem. And some people, who is it? Ricardo Nobre in the Nasty Chat's like, you got to make that. Take me to church, but baby, it's church. Na, 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 na. Like, that would be good.
Yeah, package it with the Max Jones goal song.
That could be like a nice end of church celebration. We'll see. We'll see if we find the time here. All right, let's get to text of the day today. It just ties in nicely to the song we just played. Let's give Jaunty his flowers, as they say. Snacky Chan. Jaunty in Victoria. More like Conchi in Victoria. Because we gave him a conch this morning. So that was a funny one. Snacky Chan. Congratulations. Text of the day for A&W, buddy. Oh. Why don't you go get yourself a stacker?
Stack them all.
Why not stack them all?
We said today, retail therapy, food therapy, whatever you got to do. Go hit up all of them.
You know what we should do here? We should do a video, Trev, where you juggle the 3 stackers. Because you're a juggler. I'll pick up a single stacker, a double stacker, and a triple stacker, and you can just juggle them.
I could do that.
Hey, why not?
I agree.
Please.
Great idea.
Yeah, it would be $3.99 plus $4.99 plus $5.99.
Can I eat one after?
We'll do it.
Eat them all.
You can eat them all.
all.
You can eat them all. Trev's right. Or Rick's right. Yeah. You can eat them all.
Trev's right.
I'll bring them home.
There you go. You can save them.
Leftovers.
Yep. Canada's original burger chain since 1956. Head to A&W today. Let's do that. I'll get those today.
Please.
And we can have you juggle them on video.
Sure.
And then eat them.
You could juggle too, right? Because of produce?
No, juggle and eat.
I can juggle.
Nice.
Yeah.
How'd you learn?
Grocery store.
Oh.
At nighttime when it was like nobody was around in produce, I'd juggle all the different items.
How long it take you to learn?
Not that long, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you just stay focused, it's not
that
difficult, right? Anyway, still think it would be fun to do that. All right, what are we watching tonight, guys? I'm rewatching the Lakers game, obviously, from last night, but what are you guys watching tonight? I'm also doing an Upper Deck Series 2 launch day break. Yeah. So I got that going tonight.
I'll probably be watching that.
Yeah, you should watch the break tonight.
Yes. Yeah.
We're going hunting for Mitchkoff and Celebrini Young Guns.
Oh, cool.
Which are big ones to get.
On the hunt.
Yeah.
I'll be watching Dusty.
We're sniffing that out tonight.
I can't wait.
I'm picking up a case. And we're doing half the case tonight, then we'll probably do half the case Friday or Saturday. So that'll be fun. All right, the Hangout's coming up. Bellsy will be rolling in. Jazz, Tommy, locked and loaded, ready to go. I'll be back with the Lock Shop at 11. Obviously, a huge oil stream today. More reaction to the Frederic trade and what comes next for a team that is obviously fighting it badly right now. And then EST Afternoons and the Reed Wilkins Show, keeping you entertained with some good sports talk all throughout the day here on TuneIn, on iHeart, at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, and of course over on YouTube as well. For Lieutenant Eric, YouTube Trev, Charlie the Chinstrap Penguin, I am Dustin Nielsen. I'll talk to you in the lock shop. Take it easy.